In this session, we're going to go by the book.
John, are you going to talk about Icewind Dale again?
Ah! Fuck!
Hey, Ben, what campaign are we playing?
Icewind Dale?
Fuck the book. It's homebrew time. Join our adventure party as we delve into the social and cultural aspects of our favorite game, all while enlightening our taste buds with a random craft beer. So crack open your favorite bardic inspiration and roll initiative with us of Dice and Brews.
I didn't wear a belt today. My pants keep sagging.
That used to be a style.
It used to be.
I saved that just so you could do something with that. A little bit.
So we can start the podcast with it?
I mean, it just depends on the day. Like, if I eat too much pizza, I don't need a belt.
I always need a belt.
But
I always
I knew
I wear a belt constantly, and not having one, in my mind right now, my pants look like that old man that looks like it's saggy butt.
He's got shit in his drawers.
Yeah.
You know what? When I didn't have a belt when I was a teenager and we were skateboarding all day and stuff like that, you know what we did?
Just pulled your pants up.
No, shoestrings.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Two loops?
You would all of them.
I'd always just do the two loops or something.
I feel like maybe that infomercial we got the Velcro strap. Pull it over to the side, cinch it up.
My thing is, it's like I generally don't like. I don't know about you guys, but I have gotten to a point in my life where I'm a little rotund, if you will.
My whole life.
I'm not.
No, I mean, it's
I don't
been my
think
whole
I'll
life
ever
too,
get there.
But like, I don't like. One of the things that I really don't like is jeans with elastic in them. I just want my jeans to be jeans. So like, I have to
stiff.
I have to look around for a long
But
time.
now he's ready for the fucking.
Well, this is my
MC
point.
Hammer.
Are you looking for
The jammer
male
pants?
version of jeggings, like sweatpants that look like jeans?
No. Which that reminds me of something kind of funny. But anyway, no, like in the morning, it's like, whoa, these are tight. And then by the end of the day, I was like, man, I should have put a belt on.
I thought it was the opposite.
That is where I'm at right now.
I feel like when I wake up in the morning, I'm lighter than when I end the day.
Yeah.
So like when I put my pants on in the morning, I'm like, oh, these are nice. These fit. And then after lunch, you're like, oh shit.
This is probably.
That's because you took the shit in the morning.
I've weighed
Don't feed them
myself
after midnight.
I've weighed myself throughout the day, and in one day, I have fluctuated 5 pounds up and then back down.
How many times have you sat on the toilet?
Just a routine schedule.
Yeah.
At least 3 times?
Yeah. That's how it works for me. I mean, I eat 3 times a day. Why not?
But I'm
3 times
just
a day?
like 5 pounds
keep it
in
regular,
weight,
man.
5 pounds in body weight up and then back down, or vice versa. Sometimes I don't know.
I mean, that's water.
Yeah,
Roll the coaster
that's just a lot though.
of
It's less than a
waves.
gallon. A gallon weighs like 8 something
Or 8.
pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway.
So
weird.
I got something.
That's a way. That's a way to open up the conversation.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your?
Isn't there something
gears?
that actually like a show that starts out that way, or there was like
I
a
don't
joke?
know, but I just stole it.
It's from like
It's
Family Guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Peter is the anchor.
You know what really grinds my gears? So, being part of this community doesn't grind my gears, but I'm just setting it up. Being part of this community, you are part of vast numbers of DM and player groups.
Yeah.
On Facebook and social media. People come to these groups seeking knowledge and clarification of rules. And there's no better place to get those things.
Or
than
constructive criticism too. I see that.
or constructive criticism, but there's no better place to get those things than people that are interested in the same thing you are, because they have not the same outlook, but the same hands-on experiences, different perspectives. It really annoys me.
Grinds your gears.
It really you know what really grinds my gears? It really grinds my gears that people will troll these posts of people just looking for constructive criticism or clarification of things. And they'll post on these things that don't even have anything to do with what they're asking. it's like they're looking for some sort of argument or to pick a battle with somebody that's not even looking for that.
They're using one person's request for help as an outlet to just empty out the aggravation that they might have inside. That's what I feel a lot of trolls do.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. I feel trolling is like a therapy session for these people. It's like, I had a shitty day.
I'm going to take it out on somebody else.
Better. It's like the bully mentality.
Yep.
You know?
So 100%.
When I was a young warthog, when I was a young kid and I would get picked on at school, I had 2 younger brothers at home. So the first thing that I would do would go pick on my younger brothers, just because you have to feel like
that's the whole. The boss yells at the dad yells at the mom yells at the kid, the kid kicks the dog bites the mailman,
and the cheese stands alone.
And the cheese stands alone.
Cheese wins
every time.
Sticky cheese. But anyway, so that's the first thing I did. So I feel like there's something in these people's lives that is triggering them to find or seek these little things where they can nitpick at other people and be that almost dominating effect into somebody else's life.
I think. Sorry,
no.
but I think this is something that all of us, every single one of us do, because like even when in person as a full-grown adult, you know, and we can be having a conversation in my head sometimes. Yes, there is that background thoughts that are like you kind of want to say something snarky, and I think in person
we're in a podcast, so I always say something snarky.
but in person, I think body language and the physical, like face to face, you keep that back.
Well, and then on top of that, the tone of voice that you present it with too. I mean, there's a difference between tone of voice, and maybe that's what irritates me about this the most. Had that. Well, I know we have.
Yeah, where I'm like, hey, I thought maybe I was texting you and you were taking it the way. A different way than I was meaning, and I had to say, "Hey, man, we're losing a lot of
emotion in translation."
Yeah, we're lost in translation here via text.
First off, I think that trolling can be fun.
Oh, I'm not saying it can't be fun.
I won't say I don't dive into it every once in a while, but I try to not be mean though.
Here's the thing.
I think trolling can be fun when it's trolling like we troll each other here on this podcast.
Well,
if it's somebody you know and you don't mind taking shots at them or they take shots at you or whatever.
Well, I think
but when somebody's asking you a specific question or seeking help with a specific thing, and then you are completely turning that around on them and focusing on something, and you're not even giving your opinion on what they're asking. You're just totally changing.
That's the whole fucking thing that I'm trying to make is that trolling, I think, is super fun when you come into these, we'll say, internet spaces, I think is a good way to put it, where
social media
people are taking something way more serious than it should.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then you just throw the grenade in there and you just step back and you watch it, and I think that can be fun. But like what you were saying, if somebody's coming to the group and saying like, hey, I'm a part of this group. I've recognized that you guys have a lot of experience with this. I want to know what you guys think.
One of the, okay, I'm going to give an example of the troll and then the troll that I like to do as person posts on a D&D group.
Trolls.
Person post on a D&D group a stat sheet of their character and like,
I painted a purple one once.
Give me they're like, give me a review of my stat sheet, and you look at their stats and it's like, no, you did not follow the rules in creating this fucking stat sheet. You like OP'd the shit out of your first level character. You shouldn't have any of these feats, blah blah, whatever. I'm not gonna say anything to that. I might, if I was gonna comment to that post directly, I'd say, hey, I think you might have didn't follow the rules with rolling your stats or feats or whatever.
Or maybe like, hey, like what were your parameters in creating this character? Like, did your DM give you like point buy?
I wouldn't be rude to that person.
Yeah,
but then you scroll through the comments and you will find that person that is rude.
You'll find like 20 of them.
Yeah,
and
that's where my trolling comes in. Because I fuck with that person.
Robin Hood?
Yeah, well,
the Robin Hood of trolls.
I will fuck with that person that is trolling, being an asshole on the internet. That's who I troll.
And see, that's kind of where this came from for me, is because this guy came seeking advice about mechanics
Yeah.
and about his dual class paladin rogue, and all of a sudden it came from he's playing a paladin rogue to these gatekeepers of these fucking
You can't be evil and a paladin in 5e. I'm like, fucking bro, read the book.
well, that's here's
about
the
being
other,
lawful.
like here's the other thing though, but, like,
No,
but
it
here's
ain't.
the other thing is like,
Unless you're an Oathbreaker.
well, not even that.
No,
Oath
there's
of
no
Conquest-
alignment stipulation to paladin or cleric in 5e.
Oath of Conquest is a tyrant paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all about
Perception.
it's all about the perception, and
Yeah.
and I think that's why everybody should play D&D, and
You
that's
like
why
that?
5th edition is the best edition in my mind, because it lends itself to more of the gray area that's in real life.
Yeah.
Does your beliefs, John or Andy, or what you believe is truly right, differ from each of us? Yes.
Yes.
It varies
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the time.
We've had these conversations.
And do your, like, how you hold yourself and how you go about your daily business, does that vary from each person? Yes, it does. So to put a black and white spin on a paladin and a rogue and stereotype them into one specific, I hate alignment to begin with.
Me too.
Fucking hate alignment.
Stupid.
But to blackball them into one stereotypical alignment is nonsense, in my opinion, because how much. Okay, so
okay.
there's so many gods and so many beliefs in the real world. Times that by 50 in the D&D world, and you're not telling me that these people fucking have
Various perceptions?
Yeah, various perceptions of what's good and evil
Yeah, right?
in the world itself. That's what's nonsense to me.
Yeah.
I would say the thing that D&D does, though, and I think the misnomer of lawful versus chaos, it should be lawful versus order. And I think most of the world religions pursue, and this is just from like my apologetics background, pursue a type of order, right? And that order can vary differently, like whether it's like, polygamy or not, or, eating this certain food or not, or, small potatoes compared to D&D. But I think the reality is I think it goes back to something we've talked about a lot, is just like we talked about it in our Players Night episode of like, know your character, like know what you're doing. And if you are going to be a paladin that serves this god or does this thing or whatever, like there should be a reason for it. You should understand it a little bit. And I would also say that, like, as far as the trolling side goes, like we do have an issue in this world of gatekeepers. We do have an issue in this world of tolerance and intolerance and all that stuff and what that means. And that's not what I'm trying to argue right now. But the point being, like, okay, somebody came to somebody for advice.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. But
I think that's where, but your comment on tolerance and intolerance is, I think that's where this rubs me the wrong way, is because as a human being, if somebody came to me, whether I had different beliefs from them or not, if they came to me seeking advice on something that I had knowledge upon, even if I disagreed with the way that they presented said thing, I would still do my best of my ability to provide them with some kind of sound advice in my perspective on what they're asking me, regardless.
yeah. And there's a book called Curiosity. I'm pulling up who it's by, but the point of the book is, you have a lot of people that say like the opposable thumb is what caused humans to evolve to where we're at now. And this book posits the fact that it's curiosity. Our brains work in that way. We're curious about certain things, and that's what's really led us to flourish, or I don't know what the other word I'm looking for. Advance is probably the other word. Prosper. Yep. I really wish that I could remember exactly who it was by, but point being, I think that's something that Trolls has shown, is that we as a society or as a group of people or whatever, we have really lost our curious bone. Ian Leslie is what it's by. I highly recommend it. It's very fascinating. The point is like that guy that is arguing against the person that's trying to just find advice. He's not curious about why that person's finding that advice. He's
less evolved.
Well, no, I'm not saying that he's less evolved. But
That's my anti-troll troll.
yeah, exactly. But the beauty of that is
he
like,
lost a level.
how cool would it be to have that conversation of like, hey man, I'm really curious on why you're asking that. Tell me about your situation. And then all of a sudden you're creating all this connective tissue and you're like, oh, okay. You get to know the person a little bit. You get to understand their situation, why they're asking it, because there's always a why, right? Like, why are we not doing that? And as a society, I think most people, and I'm feeling a little hypocritical even saying this right now, which is probably wrong, but why are we not curious about what other people are doing or why they're asking those questions? Like that, instead, we're just like, nope, I have the answer. I'm going to tell you the answer, which is bullshit.
But, and that's, like I said, I think that's why this is deeper than just a D&D subject to me, because this is like everything that you see all the time, even in on the news and stuff like that, just like in everyday life or like with supervisors or with coworkers or anything like that. We're not curious about why they're asking these questions or why don't you understand this? We've talked about this 3 times. Like, why aren't you getting this? And instead of us taking the time to dive into those things of like, why aren't you understanding this? What's the barrier there? We're quick to shut them down and be like, no, you're not capable.
Well, and I challenge all of our listeners, like, and this is a big,
all 5 of you.
yeah, all 5 of you. Well, I mean, we're making evergreen content, so maybe in the future we might have more, but anybody that ever listens to this, like the point being, like, even in tough conversations like family dynamics and religion and politics and all these things, if you actually are curious, like, everybody comes to those conclusions and those very tightly held beliefs based off of experiences that they've had and knowledge that they've assimilated.
Which they earned, which is fine. So if you want to have like an actual conversation, like, why do you believe that? And be curious about that. And that's the conversation. People need to stop thinking that they're going to be able to change somebody else's mind. Start learning, like, and I just want to know. I think all 3 of us, I think all 3 of us have learned this firsthand through our conversations together.
Yeah.
And like John, you said in a previous episode that necessarily our opinions of each other or our beliefs that we have ourselves aren't necessarily going to change. But at the end of the day, when I go home and I'm laying in bed or whatever, and I'm reflecting on the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I can be like, okay, well, I understand that point. And now I look at it with a different perspective. Yeah. As opposed to just a single point of view.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't, when you have that reflection, like when I have those reflections, it doesn't change my belief. I still have my belief, but it gives me more understanding, a broader perspective of others. And I think one of the greatest benefits of trying to understand instead of attack an opposing opinion, and when you try to understand it, it opens you up. I really think it builds some character. You know, it you're not changing, but you're understanding, and I think understanding, being open.
Well, the next time that scenario presents itself or somebody approaches you with that, you have that other perspective in your head. It's like, okay, maybe it's not as cut and dry as I perceived it before, and now maybe my tone of voice or my exception, I don't know if my tolerance or my exception of what they're bringing to my attention is my shields are down a little bit because I understand that there's more than one point of view to this or whatever is being brought up.
What comes to my mind, and I guess it could be a touchy subject. I don't know why it is, but there are certain ideologies in the world that lead to, we'll just say, hate, right? And the people that have these ideologies, they came to them for a reason. And until you understand what that reason is, you can't do anything about it, because all you're going to do is you're going to say a bunch of things like talking points, right, that they've heard. And it's just going to exacerbate
probably numerous times.
Yeah, it's
before.
Gonna like
you're trying to beat
a dead horse.
That person with that ideology, and when you say ideology, we're not talking religion. This is a train of thought.
Yeah,
an ideology is simply just a train of thought.
It can be about anything. It can be about that damn dress that's white and silver or whatever,
blue, gold, or fuck, I don't know.
It could be any fucking thing in the goddamn world.
But when you come at somebody against an ideology and you hit those, like you said, talking points to somebody, you're fighting the bat that they're swinging.
You're not the person.
Not the person.
With your bat, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your own bat.
It's like lightsabers.
Yeah, what you got to do is ignore
bounce off each other.
the ideology and figure out why the person thinks or follows that ideology. The root cause that person has into why they think the dress is blue.
Right. And like we said many times, it doesn't make their opinion wrong or their beliefs wrong.
No.
But it doesn't make you wrong or your beliefs wrong either. But what it does do is open up conversation for these avenues to be at an understanding point where you can coexist.
But I think the other part that's really
and
cool
flourish
is that, well, I mean,
that's my new bard. Coexist and flourish.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that they talk about thriving, but they're literally barely surviving, right? And that's something that I think a lot of people need to deal with too. But like, I think it's really important to also understand, like, why is this pissing you off? Get curious about yourself. Like,
yeah, a little internal reflection.
Like, whoa, hold on.
When you point that finger, 3 of them are pointing back at you, bud.
Well, and I think that's why I brought this topic up, is like, why am I so mad about this? Like, why do I even care about
because
this?
Because gatekeepers suck.
Well, but not only that, is because I came from a very rough childhood, a very rough growing up, a very poverty stricken. You know what I mean? So all you had were your friends.
I think we all kind of did, right?
So and even in my older age, I've always been accepting of people from everywhere. I like people. I want to surround myself with people, and I want to get to know people, and I like different points of view from people, and I like different aspects of people. And I want people to feel comfortable coming to me and trying to explain if they even have a problem with me or if they have a problem. And it angers me to see that people don't want to get to know people, that they don't care about the person on the other side of their comment.
And based off what we're talking about, I think it's really important to dive into, like, why does that anger me? Well, I can give you a couple examples for myself. Like, it angers me because ultimately I believe at my core, and I could dive into this too and be curious, why do I believe that? And that's the fun of being human, right? But I believe at my core, I am a relational being. I'm not meant to do this life alone, and I'm supposed to develop connective tissues with all kinds of persons. One of the things that I really admire about you, John, is that a lot of times we'll have heated debates. And Ben and I, like, you're the only person I know that actually does this. And you dig your heels in. I'm not saying that you don't. But if
I'll
Ben
fucking
and I
die on my heels.
yeah. But if Ben and I bring up a point, you go, oh, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
And I don't know really that many other people that actually, I think I only know like 1 or 2 other people that actually are willing to do that, because at that point in time, you're not seeing it as a point to lose ground. You're not in it to win it. You're in it to, like, no, this is my point. This is why I think, at least that's my perception.
Yeah,
right?
no,
it's the consumption of knowledge. It's the consumption of perspective. Yeah. It's
huge.
Bettering yourself as a person by listening to as many perspectives and many points of view as possible.
I want to know all sides.
Yeah.
Regardless if I agree with that side, I want to know it. But to know it is not to just, okay, I hear the words. To know it is to see it, feel it, understand it. And like you said, I don't have to. I'm going to dig my heels into my side, but at least I know what's on the other side.
But I know what's on the other slide with those heels, or at least pick your foot up and go, okay, now I'm going to stand here instead of there.
I will definitely. Like I think one of our other conversations, the one that you referenced, that I said I went home and I thought about it and I came back. I picked my feet up and I moved a little bit forward because I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, okay, I see a perspective there.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't think my view was wrong, but I just feel like I need to. It's not even like changing sides of the hills. It's growing my circle. I'm taking my view, but I'm also gonna sweep in your view or portion of your view into my view, and I'm gonna take it in.
I think
like, okay, I take this too.
Those are the things that you were talking about. As like people develop these views over personal experiences, and the only way to develop those views or points of view or feelings or beliefs for yourself are to experience other people's views and beliefs.
And you can't experience them
unless you're open to listening to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And fucking trolls speak with their ears clogged.
But I think
absolutely.
I think there are. I just want to go back to this. I think there are just like comedians, anytime that you try to censor a comedian, we've lost the game.
Oh, yeah.
Comedians need to be that group of people that can say anything at any time about anyone, and it's okay. Trolls need to be able to say in the realm, like what we were talking about earlier, of like, hey, if somebody's asking for advice, why are you trolling them? Like, go look in a mirror for a second. Like, this is somebody who loves something that you love. Why are you being an adversary?
Be a dick to them?
Yeah. But like, I don't know, if somebody gets online and starts saying that, like, what comes to mind is the Bayhive, Beyonce, like,
Dude, what the fuck is a Bayhive?
Yeah, the Beyonce
I don't know what that
fans,
is.
right?
Oh. What?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Why do you know that?
Are you in the Bayhive?
I'm not, but I've heard a lot about this. Like if you are like this staunch person that's like in that group, hey, guess what? I just want you to know, like, Beyonce has no clue who you are.
Right.
She's probably realistically only received $10 to $15 of your money after everything's said and done. You don't owe her anything. Why are you getting mad at people who say, I don't like Beyonce?
Right.
Right? That's the kind of troll that I'm against. But I also think that's the kind of troll that we need, is somebody to throw the grenade in there and go,
wait. The Robin Hood troll? The troll of trolls?
Well,
I do.
I don't even know.
But I think here's where I think trolling gets lost in translation, is that most of these things, 99 to 100% of them are text-based.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I could be barking up the wrong tree with even the gentleman that I'm referring to with the paladin and the rogue and stuff like that. He could have totally meant that in a comedic way.
He might have been our biggest supporter.
But at the same time,
fucking hates us now.
All I'm saying is that emotion and
body language
and deliverance, they all get lost in translation with text message.
Not that one.
So
not that deliverance. You've got a pretty mouth, boy. You squeal like a pig, I bet.
But anyway, I just
stuck with the little twang.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick. Now that we're free and shaking out, and we've had a shot of whiskey.
If you're gonna be a troll, troll the trolls.
Well, the last thing I want to say,
be nice, respectful, understanding.
Absolutely.
And that's the best thing about this community. Let me say, the D&D community, 95%
inclusive out there
is very inclusive, and they're very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are amazing. And the amount of support that the community shows each other is bar none like the best thing that I've ever witnessed in my life from a group of people.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing.
And I don't remember what my point was going to be, but that's a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So I just
cheers to the D&D community, and it's not wrong to play a paladin rogue. Just saying,
have fun the way you want to have fucking fun.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part. Is like, even us, we can take D&D too seriously, but this is something we do for fun. So.
Yeah, it's just a fucking game, people.
We are playing pretend.
I play pretend in real life.
Fair enough.
So anyway, another subject is I kind of got the itch again, guys, and I'm not talking about an STD.
They're called STIs now.
Whatever they're called.
What the fuck? Shut up.
But I'm getting a little DM itch again. The forever DM.
It wants to DM.
It wants to DM again.
He doesn't like my epic battles in every single fight.
What I was thinking about when you said that,
that was constructive criticism.
Is that I don't think
I'm rolling with it. I'm doing my thing.
I don't think you, Ben, the forever DM, have DM'd since we started this podcast.
No, I haven't. Because John started his.
I know, but that's kind of funny if you think about it, because we joke about you being the forever
he's the forever DM, but one listener has heard a story of his campaign.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You guys talked about the
current campaign.
Oh, yeah. Oh. That's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's on the horizon. Look over there. The forever DM's coming home.
that lone rider in the sunset. Fucking dust trail.
No, I think
guess who I'm playing?
Tabaxi Rogue.
Dalinar colon.
Dalinar colon.
Mumahuku Makia Kia Luminor.
Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah. It's a great character.
But instead of archery, I'm gonna do a barbarian.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense.
It's the personality that I'm playing,
Not the character.
not
Gotcha.
the archer.
Gotcha.
A passive barbarian.
Hey, that could be
You
cool.
mean a barbarian?
Yeah.
I was thinking today,
when you said that, I was in my head. I was like,
could you imagine? I was thinking a
I can't
monk.
hit the trombone that soon.
I was thinking about playing a monk from a story standpoint.
oh, monk again? Yeah.
Hold on. I love monks, and I've seen a lot of monk hate.
Talk
and
shit about me liking rogues.
screw whatever. But no, I wanted to
Screw whatever. Pop, pop.
yeah. No, the monk with like that starts out as a barbarian and then like through the campaign like finds a temple and like tries to like hone their skills.
God,
Could you imagine
you'd be-
rage and fury of blows together? Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Do you imagine though that you're like a level 10 and you're only got a +2 to anything because there's a thing called mad. It's just you got too many skills that you have to
I get
focus
that,
on.
but like, don't you get rage at level 1 as a barbarian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. So you're
Yeah.
taking like one level You got to get at least 2 because you got to get relentless attack.
Yeah, if you
And primal savagery comes at 2 too.
no, just
Not
like
bad.
I don't know.
This is my
I
first
look,
barbarian.
I look at
Barbarian.
I look at character classes for
Say it. Barbarian.
barbarian.
Yes.
No.
I look at characters and building characters as if like from a story standpoint. I also just generally pick because we tend to start at level 1.
Woo!
Yeah. I was waiting for that. Or another
That's why
comment.
everybody should play
That's
D&D.
the comment I was waiting for. No, that wasn't the comment I was waiting for. Got
Icewind
to-
Dale.
I don't even know
Nope.
you fucking think you're waiting for anymore.
I'm waiting for it.
Know
And
what I
that's
mean?
why every campaign should start at level 1. Because you've said that every time. No,
It's true.
but like, okay, start at level 1. This is who you are. And then let the campaign shape who you become. Don't like plan the
And
characters out.
honestly, you've already pre-planned this out to level 20, so you're
I
not
haven't, but-
letting the campaign
No,
shape
but I just
you.
think
Well,
it'd be
see,
cool
I guess-
in that kind of campaign.
Yeah, I'm doing something like that because I'm taking the basis from a character in a book
Yeah.
and I'm level 1.
And watch me
I-
fuck him up.
He come level 2, 3, 4, whatever. He might not be that character from the book anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just starting with a basis,
Yeah. And I think that's the best way to start.
and he's going to develop as he goes.
By the way, I am using the everybody has one memory.
Again.
And yeah, fuck,
Again.
that's the best way, man. That's the best way.
you know what my memory was?
Are we going to
Everything
finish
is a
that
whole
campaign?
fucking
It's a one paragraph.
yeah, it's a whole
It's
paragraph.
2
It's a
fucking
memory.
sentences.
What? No, there's like 5.
No, there's
a
2.
lot
I
of
only put
periods in
one period in the middle and one period at the end. It's 2
there. I went
sentences.
back and re-edited it.
So
It's like, excuse me, John, this is too long.
I'm willing to let you tell us what your memory was if we're not going to go back to that world, which actually generally looking at our past, we're not going to go back to that world. So I guess you could tell
Dude,
us. What
it's
would
just
matter.
rock. I just
think,
took
but
rock.
I think he was talking about your Blade Singer from the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, my Blade Singer?
I think that campaign's dead.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Dude, I don't
I just
even-
think that our schedules and
But can I
The
tell you
worst
that
part-
Puck is coming back?
the worst part
That's a cool
about
character.
this game as you get older is trying to get people together.
Well, have you seen that meme that it's a little girl sitting on Santa Claus' lap and Santa Claus is like, "Hey, what do you want?" And the little girl says, "I want a dragon." And she says, or the Santa Claus says, "Hey, how about you be realistic about that?" And she's like, "Okay, I want a D&D campaign or a D&D group that meets regularly and there's no schedule conflicts."
So
And
a
then Santa
dragon.
Santa goes, "What color dragon do you want?" And the little
Yep.
girl goes, "Red."
Do you want to know what Zed's background was?
Well,
the
we
Blade
don't-
Singer?
We don't need to deal with that now, but
Uh,
yeah, I mean,
no.
eventually.
I forgot, so I had to look it up.
It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
No, don't. No,
Dude,
no Stained. Come on, Jesus.
That was one of the
Christ.
first songs
That was actually one of the
I
good
learned
songs.
on guitar, actually, just because it's so easy. Anyway,
When I first started playing bass,
I like
way
Aaron
long ago.
Lewis's new stuff, though.
God, get out of here!
he likes Tool, though, remember?
No, I like country.
What the?
No, the hill that you have died on multiple times in this very room
I'm not
is
saying
your
I,
love for or love for Tool.
yeah, I didn't say
Love for that
I didn't
fucking
say-
shit stained tool.
I didn't say I don't like Tool, but no, I'm said I like Aaron Lewis's new stuff because it's country and it's actually like
Good?
yeah, no, it's more like that early '90s, late '80s
Speaking
country.
of, I saw a meme the other day. My little brother sent it to me, and it was a guy that looks totally like the town I come from. And it said, "I like outlaw country and the law." I was funny.
Would he be a Paladin rogue?
Outlaw country is like 80s country.
I know, but it's just,
I love it.
Anyway.
I like outlaw country and the law too.
The country I like is more like the reggae country.
The country I like is like Hank Williams and Hank Williams Jr. Anything
Hank
after
Williams
that,
Jr.'s outlaw.
anything after that, just like,
Are you
that's
ready
not,
for some football?
Okay, wait. Hank
not
Williams and Hank Williams Jr. are not even close to the same thing.
I know, but that's my point. Is like this Hank Williams III stuff that where they like start running in the rap and
I don't like rap country.
rock and I mean country today.
A little bit of
Why are we
rock.
talking
My
about this?
name is King.
Ball with the bang a dang diggy.
Let's drop that one as fast as
Come
possible.
on. Did
Kid
you
Rock's
not?
great, but
TRL, Total Request Live, and you were like, "Oh yes, fucking Cowboy hit number 3 on the charts."
No, fuck that. It was Limp Bizkit rolling.
Roll.
But you know what? Based on our previous conversation,
I couldn't do Carson Daly.
trolling.
I couldn't do Carson Daly or whatever his name was.
And then followed by Avril Lavigne Skater Boy.
Did I think,
you know
I
what?
don't even think TRL was around when Avril.
I think it was.
Really?
Here's a real life conspiracy theory.
Home run.
I think all conspiracy theories are real life because
No.
people.
Avril Lavigne is actually dead. She's been replaced by a doppelganger.
Yeah, I know.
Look it up.
I've heard that one before.
I'm just saying.
Do you believe it?
I don't know what I believe.
Here's the thing: is like,
Okay, all right. There's two things here. You have to believe that Avril Lavigne is dead, and you also have to believe in doppelgangers.
See, I would think that would equate more to Britney Spears than it would to anybody else.
Oh, Britney Spears
Free Britney.
is hashtag free Britney for sure. She's getting the short end of.
Yeah,
She doesn't even have a stick. What am I talking about?
I don't even really know much about the story. But
Her dad owns her.
motherfucker, anybody try to tell me I can't have my money, I'm gonna fucking. We're going
It's
at it.
not even about not having your money. Like her dad, literally, from what I've read, like owns her.
Yeah,
Like it is
we're fighting.
modern day slavery.
We're fighting. I'll punch my mom.
Well, what do you think?
Punch my mom in the face.
We're fighting. What do you think 2007's Shave the Head Britney was? I totally understand her now.
It still makes sense.
That was when Doppelganger took over. You guys aren't understanding.
We're not.
No, do the doppelgangers have like the lizard eyes, like they always say, like the sideways blinking?
No, they look like the aliens from Signs.
I don't remember what they look like.
what those look like.
What? You
Yeah.
guys don't remember that freaky fucking
What I remember is
the passing in the bushes at the kid's birthday party and the fucking like.
No, I remember that, but I don't remember like seeing the alien. I remember except for the part where
I barely remember
he's
that
got
movie.
he's got the baseball bat and he's like,
I know it's a good movie though.
Yeah, it was a good movie. All right, getting off of that. I told you guys we're not doing pop culture today.
That's
No.
not pop culture. That's just referencing of a very specific creature.
We've literally been talking about Britney Spears, Beyonce,
Pop
and now
culture.
a movie. Pop culture. Exhibit A.
Fuck off.
Anyway,
Yeah. So to wrap up the pre-funk today, I want to give a shout out to Mimic Stickers.
so good.
At Mimic Stickers on Instagram. He just opened up an Etsy shop. Hand-drawn stickers. This guy is an amazing artist. And
Yeah.
if I heard you if I heard you correctly, you said he's out of Eugene, Oregon, right?
Well,
So he's
You don't know if that's
really know. I've done a little bit of stalking. I'm sorry, man, but
dude, he's so worth stalking though.
yeah, his you got to go buy his stickers.
His hair.
It's so I
Dude, I
don't
don't
know
know.
about his hair. I've never seen a picture of him.
I've been talking to him, and we got a little collabo piece going on. So
yeah,
Is that where we got our
it could be.
stickers?
No, we didn't get
No,
our
not
stick-
okay.
I'm gonna.
I would like him
Yeah.
to do our stickers.
Yeah, for sure.
Really? I haven't
Oh,
even
yeah.
seen. I haven't seen his stuff yet.
I love
It's
his
so good.
artistic ability, and I got him drawing something up for of Dice and Brews. So,
Sweet.
yeah, I just want to give it. He's a new shop on Etsy.
Yeah. But I think he works for a brewery, is what I
You
thought
said
I
mimic
saw.
stickers.
And I think he works for the brewery of the beer that we are looking to brew
We're brewing today, huh?
not brewing, but we are reviewing today.
Yeah, so check him out on Instagram at Mimic Sticker Shoppe.
Shoppe?
Shoppe?
That's PPE?
Yep.
PPE.
Not,
And
not
you can find him on
personal
Etsy at www.etsy.com/shop/mimic stickers. And I mean, these stickers are phenomenal.
You know what they
Mimic
remind me of a little bit? And I don't
Let me
want this if this makes like offends this person, I'm so sorry, but I really love this stuff. Is it's got kind of like this like polished rat fink vibe to it.
Yeah, like the old school like dragster racer shit going on. Yeah,
Oh,
like
it's
that
so
gritty
good.
car show.
So good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see that. I see that in
It's
there.
so good. It captures the essence of what he's drawing.
Oh yeah.
So well.
I'm looking at this and I'm literally seeing like pinup car tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Like-
you could easily take those drawings and make a complete D&D sleeve.
But it's instead
of
of
all of
cars and pinups, it's mimics and monsters. But that style, that pinup, grungy tattoo style, I like
Yeah.
it.
It's so good, man. You're a great artist, and I just wanted to give you a shout out real quick. He had a giveaway just not recently, and that's why I tagged you guys in it. And he says that he was giving away one of all his stickers that he's produced so far. And immediately I was like, dude, I'm gonna buy them anyway, but I wanted to see if I was gonna win the giveaway first because
yeah.
I have the ultimate sticker collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was like, "Hey, where are you gonna? If you win, where are you gonna put these stickers?" Like, man, I have like kitchen cabinets hanging over my hobby space, and I would love to add your stickers to my collection.
Did you say
Yeah,
it?
I mean,
Did you say it like that via text?
Pretty close.
they have a
Please
very
tell
Rick
me
and
how
Morty
you
vibe to them
how you
too.
portrayed
They
that.
do.
They're very cool.
Please tell me how you portrayed that accent through text. I want to know.
I would like to use that.
Yeah, it's super legit stuff though.
Yeah,
man.
good stuff. At Mimic Sticker Shoppe
Yeah,
on Instagram. Good guy. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Looks cool.
Awesome.
super cool.
Great part of the community. Good luck to you, sir. Looking forward to doing business with you.
Hell yeah.
And with that being said, anybody else got anything to say?
I think it's time to crack some beers.
All right, what's on tap tonight, guys? Have a pint, take a break, and relax. It's my favorite part of the show. So tell me, boys, what's on tap?
Thank you, sir.
All right, Andy, what we got on tap tonight, bro?
Okay, so we got this is a brew from Oakshire Brewing, Amber Ale, Northwest Amber Ale. Oakshire is out of Eugene, Oregon.
It's got Ben's favorite 2 words on it.
Keep cold.
Keep cold.
Cold.
It is 5.4%. And I think that's really the
Community-inspired small batch brewing since 2006.
Yeah,
Wait,
Say
hold on. This
brewery.
expands on the keep cold. This says keep cold,
drink fresh.
fresh.
And so to tell you how fresh
I feel like
Make it
this
better?
is Subway fucking.
yeah, eat fresh. This was
I like their
canned
logo.
on the 9th of December, 2020.
Is that's the first time I've ever seen a beer have a canned?
Generally, they
date
have
on
them
it?
on the bottom.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
This one says 4E. That's the aspect ratio, or 4.3. I'm sorry. This is
Mine
the
says
aspect-
4.9.
Yeah, mine says 4.9
Whoa,
as
they're
well.
different. These are collector cans.
Maybe. Anyway,
I bet yours says 4.9 too.
I have done research on this one. It was good. This is probably one of
Did
the...
you say what it is?
It's an amber ale. I thought. Maybe I didn't. But I think as far as the beers we've tried on this podcast, this is probably... Hey, Ben, can you take a really good picture? Because that picture that we had on that last one was kind of garbage.
Well, see, Instagram
Is crap.
makes you change the aspect ratio.
Oh, I know.
Don't
anyway.
fucking give me any shit, man.
There's this program called Snapseed. It's free. You should probably use it, or just send me the picture and I'll take care of it for you. Because you sent it over. You sent that picture over Facebook Messenger, and then within 3 minutes you had it posted.
Yeah, I was on a
You were
roll,
on
man.
it. You were on it.
I was getting it done.
But I think this is probably one of the most accessible beers that
I was
we've
trying to let
had.
people know.
You did.
I didn't.
That we've done, or I mean, it's a good amber. I think it is.
Yeah. That's nice.
This fucking sticker is tough.
Yeah, the
That's
sticker on
smooth.
the outside is.
I like this one.
It's, if I remember correctly, I haven't had a sip of it yet. Let me double check so I'm not giving you guys bad information.
Keep cold, drink fresh.
Yeah, this is something. There's a little bit of a hint of a smokiness to it.
Yeah, this is a daily drinker in my mind.
Fuck that
Yeah.
sticker up.
We'll see if we can get one off of one of the other cans. But I think
Ooh,
between this one
tasty.
and Sweet As, I think those are the two real rockstar beers that we found.
Yeah, daily
during
drinker. This is 5.3. Did you say it? Or 5.4?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this I think as far as balanced beers, this is probably one of the most balanced beers I've had in a long time. But where it comes from the malty and the
Sorry.
John trying to rip the sticker off
Just
the
trying
can.
to add to the table.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of the most balanced beers that I've had in a long time.
Yeah, this is nice. This is definitely
fucking struggling over here.
this is definitely a miniature painting beer.
Do you need me to pour a little MAN on that for you, John?
You can pour
Fucking got it.
You can pour some sugar on me.
On me? Do the honors, John.
I don't want to cover up. Here we go, like that.
There we go. No bubbles.
Yeah, no bubbles, bro.
Got it.
Oakshire Amber Ale.
Yeah.
You've been added to the table.
Yeah, and added in a we're happy to add you actually.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I haven't really had a chance to look at any of their other beers, but the fact
This is
that
honestly the first time I've ever heard of them.
the fact that they
Got a little green now. Nice.
the fact that they did an amber so well leads me to believe that these guys know how to brew beer.
Yeah.
So
This is-
I'm
this is
definitely
really
excited
good.
to try some of their other stuff. Out of Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah. Good.
So West
good.
Coasters, you should be able to have no problem finding this stuff.
Where did you find this one? Total Wine?
Total
The
Wine
gas
again. No, not the gas station.
The
There
capital
used
T.
to be a place in Federal Way called 99 Bottles.
Yeah.
There used to be one in Tacoma too.
Yeah.
Tacoma was Bottle Works.
No,
That's
there's 99 bottles.
Was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gone.
they went out of business. They tried selling, and I don't know why nobody bought them. In hindsight, I wish I would have.
Because I wasn't buying a beer store.
Yeah, I know, right?
I went into
Ben-
3D printing and said,
me and Ben were still doing the Bud Lights then.
we're still
Yeah.
consuming the fucking Silver Bullet.
But I was.
I think
was
at that point we switched to the Silver Bullet.
Probably.
I was like 7 or
Okay,
8
hold on.
punch cards
Hold
deep on that one.
You want to know something really stupid? Okay, when I was a bartender around Halloween,
That's all he has to
When
say.
I was a young bartender.
When I was a bartender, you want to hear something really stupid? Yeah, you probably got a good story about something really stupid.
Add to the fact that I was in a casino.
yeah. Well, I was sitting at the behind the bar, and it's around Halloween time, and this guy comes up, and we're busy,
Of course.
slammed.
It's a
And this guy
holiday.
comes up and he's like, "Hey, can I get a werewolf killer?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like thinking it's some kind of like obscure mixed drink. He's like, "No, it's Cooler's Light. Get it, Silver Bullet." And I'm like, "You son of a bitch, you're cut off."
It's like, I just got here, though. It's my first beer. It's only 3 in the afternoon.
That's Cockney level. The way the Cockney slang works is it's like, okay, this is the real word, and then this is a slang thing that could mean it, and here's a slang thing that could mean that, and then that's the Cockney
we
slang.
we get these with. I used to get these with Bud Light Lime too. You know how people call Bud Lights, like young people call Bud Lights BLs.
I
Really?
So
never
people,
heard that.
yeah. So people would call Bud Light Lime BLL.
Well.
I'm like, what the? Just say the fucking word. Bud
Bud
Light
Light.
Lime.
Yeah. You are talking to a bartender, you're not going to sound cool. Just stop it.
Stop using your text lingo
I'm
in
the only
real life.
cool one here.
Well,
You're not cool.
chances are the bar actually this is a PSA, okay? The more you know. Anyway, yeah. No, if you
Vocal
are
goblin.
trying to like show a bartender how cool you are, you've already failed. Just
Show
don't do
them
it.
in their tip jar.
Order the frickin' drink and get out of their way. They don't want to talk to you.
I'll take a Guinness and a shot of Jameson, and here's $5 in your tip jar. You are now the coolest motherfucker in this building.
Yeah. Next time you show up to the bar to get your drink, I'm going to let you go first, even though there's a line of 20 people. And then don't.
Oh, and they remember. They
Yeah.
remember you.
Yeah,
they
here-
may play stupid, but they remember all of you.
Here's the other thing. If you are
Sounds
at
creepy.
a busy bar, if it's at a club or a whatever, don't tell the bartender, I'm looking for something fruity. Just surprise me.
Surprise me.
Oh, why did you do this to me?
Exactly.
I went to go get a coffee the other day. Me and the
Bikini
lady.
barista?
No, me and the lady.
God,
I
no.
heard they make really good coffee, though.
No,
I'm not
they
spending
don't.
$10 on a coffee. I went there
Actually-
one time and I was like, I'm ordering a 16-ounce white mocha. Why are you charging me $9.98?
Because you're looking at my pasties,
And they're like,
motherfucker.
well, because it's a bikini barista. And I was like, but Starbucks charges $4.50 for the same thing,
And it's better.
and it's actually better.
I've never been to one.
Starbucks because they sold the Sonics.
But anyways,
Howard Schultz.
but they straight up told
Starbucks
me
owner.
they straight up said, like 100% said, it's because we're in bikinis. I don't give a fuck if you're in a bikini. I just want my goddamn coffee.
I've never
for a
been
cheap price.
and never will go because
It's a
I
rip-off.
want. If I'm going to
Fucking
buy
rip-off.
coffee, I want it to be good.
It's a rip
If
off.
I want shitty coffee, I'll go to
How
the
do you
job
know it's
site.
not good, though?
I don't know.
No, it's depending on what. Some of them actually use good coffee.
Well, you can use
Well.
good coffee and still burn it.
Oh yeah,
Just because
Well,
they're naked
ma-
doesn't make it bad coffee.
I'm not gonna. It goes against my morals, I guess. I'm not gonna do
Okay,
that.
Superman.
Hey, these cuffs are on, even though I can break out of them.
fuck off.
Actually, no. Hold on. This is kind of funny because the other day, and any of our Spanish-speaking audience can confirm or deny this, but as far as I understand, in Spanish, the word for wife and the word for handcuffs is essentially the same word.
Well, I thought you were
Dead
going
space.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Let that dead space sit there, Ben, in recording.
I think
Just
that goes back to the conversation we had in the car that we will not do on the air, but still.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I want a cup of coffee, I would rather go to like a hammer mill or like a nice place.
If I want a cup of coffee,
Why aren't they nice?
I want a cup of coffee. I don't want to pay double just because somebody wanted to wear less
Do you ever
clothes.
go to the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you ever order a Bud Light at the bar?
No.
unfortunately, yeah.
How much was that Bud Light, John?
The same amount as an
Way
entire
more
case.
than a can.
Did you still buy that Bud Light, John?
But you know what? There's a difference at the
Is there a difference,
Oh yeah,
John?
hold on. At the bikini barista, I'm in my car and I'm leaving. At the bar, I'm in the building enjoying the atmosphere.
Hold on.
I'm paying,
hold
I'm paying
on,
the
though.
price for the atmosphere.
Hold on, though. That same exact
I don't
notion,
care about the atmosphere at the bikini barista.
but at the same time, you are paying for the atmosphere,
know.
my friend.
And
I don't
just-
want to pay for that atmosphere.
Okay,
each
but,
their
then
But you know what, though?
Just don't go. But I'm just saying.
Okay, exactly.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
That's the experience. You're
That's
paying
where-
for the experience.
To each your
That's
own.
like going to the club in Vegas
Yes.
versus going to the club in Washington.
As the youth
You're paying
pastor
for the
here,
eclipse.
That's one of the big.
I don't agree with that stuff. I think it's objectification of women, and they shouldn't do it. I'm
But
gonna
to
let
each
that
your
one-
own.
But to each your own.
If the
that's what
woman
you
wants
like
to do it, do it.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that you're paying for an experience.
Yes, and
I get
what you said specifically though is
Same thing with like Hooters.
if I don't want to go, if I don't want
and
it,
the food is shitty there.
I don't know. I've never been.
Hooters is terrible food, but like you said, if you don't like it, don't go.
You know what
You know what? We're in fucking America, where I get the choice of not fucking going
You know what I
there
think's
if I
funny
don't fucking
about-
want to.
No, you don't. I'm trolling you right now. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You should go. You should support them. Fucking blah blah
You know what I think's funny about those places
Paladin
though?
Rogues. Paladin Rogues.
Is tell me you
Oakshire, you make good beer.
Everybody knows a guy that's like, yeah, I go to this bikini barista and she's totally into me. Dude, no, she's not.
She's not. That's the same with the bartender.
Oh,
That's
man.
the same with the female bartender. She's not into you.
Isn't there a movie about that?
I think so.
She's not that into you.
I don't know what it's
I
but
think that's what it's called.
same thing
Was
for
that another
Hooters. Is like
Freddie
everybody
Prinze
wants to
Jr.
talk
movie?
about
I
like
don't fucking know. I think so.
I work in construction and I'll hear these guys talk about how like, yeah, I was at Hooters and I got the
What's
number.
a computer?
Sorry.
I could have got her number if I asked for it.
Yeah,
she was
no,
so
you
into
couldn't.
me.
No,
Bro,
she
she
wanted
didn't
that
give a f-
$20 tip on that $4 Bud Light
Yeah.
that you bought.
Dude, when I was a bartender, my
When
demographic
I was young,
my
bartender.
demographic was the older ladies.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh shit,
Bro,
shit.
it was
Wow.
Cougar Central. And that was who I catered to because, being a younger male, I don't have
And like I said, your real life class is a
experience-
bard. So
of a female bartender. So
If you want a good cup of coffee, go somewhere that they've got good coffee.
But Oakshire, you make really good beer. This is a great amber, actually.
You do.
I
It
enjoy
is
this.
actually. I really like this one.
I do not
This is-
support nor condone
We got
nor
it, Andy.
support.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you've repeated that.
Yeah,
Don't
twice.
say it for the 17th time.
Yeah, fuck
I
off.
just feel like I have to.
Dude, we're talking
You don't
about
have to.
the atmosphere.
You're starting to become that troll that's gonna get trolled.
Where's
by me.
my Robin troll?
Hey, as
I'm
long
right
as
here.
we get some comments, we'd be okay with that, right? The only comments we're getting are other business owners and other
I
podcasts.
Those are good.
I gotta delete them. Like promote on? No, motherfucker, block you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Instagram, I'm like, every time I post on Instagram, they're like, "Hey, promote on blah blah blah. We'll only charge you fucking an arm and a leg." I'm like, who are you?
No, I think
I'm promoting right now. Shut the fuck up.
actually, I think Ben and I tag teamed a certain guy
Back again.
that was
Scoop, was it chocolate?
I don't know what it was.
Was it vanilla? Was this their? Fuck it. I don't
Something
know.
I don't know.
vanilla.
It's the
It's the
rock
best
and
commercial
roll.
on TV right now.
There was somebody that was trying to get us.
There it is.
Yeah, that
Fucking
is a
you up
good
right
commercial.
now.
No, I've seen that commercial. That is a good one. No, there was somebody that was trying to get us to like buy their merch and like promote again. We've had that happen a couple times now, and
Yeah.
Ben got on there and responded like
Did
just
you troll
straight
him?
up like no.
You should have trolled him.
and then I got on there and I was like, no, thank you, we're good, because they came back at us. I've never had any of them come back at us.
They're getting aggressive.
Yeah, it's like I'm not
downside-
buying your shit.
The downside is, like I say, you should have trolled him. Downside is, it's probably automated.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
the algorithm
worst
and you're
part.
not
I don't
actually
think it is automated though,
I don't
because
think you're actually talking to anybody.
they were responding like
That very, very first one, I
don't
remember they did respond. But even their responses seemed scripted.
They're copy pasted.
Yeah,
they probably are. They
it felt
Look, man, I don't
bot-ish.
got. Everybody's got to make money somehow.
Yeah,
so
if I could do it.
It is what it is. I just
if you come
delete
at
the
us,
shit.
we're gonna come at you. Fuck off.
yeah.
I'm botting the fuck out of you.
Feisty today.
Oh, I just did a joke.
Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of which, WrestleMania is this weekend. That's exciting.
What are we doing?
I'm fucking gonna watch it tomorrow. I don't know.
I didn't ask what you're doing. I said, what are we doing about it?
Well, I'm watching it, so feel
I'm
free.
not doing anything. I work tomorrow.
You suck. WrestleMania is a 2-night event this year.
Yeah? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it better be.
Is
Didn't
Stone
they
Cold
cancel
Steve
last
Austin gonna
year?
win?
What?
The Undertaker?
God. John, if you want to play the game with the big boys, you need to at least do a little bit of research.
Dude, it was a fucking sarcastic motherfucker.
He's trolling me. He's
I'm
fucking trolling me.
This is
Not
how
very
it
well.
works.
Not very well.
Is it try trolling?
Are you trying to Robin Hood troll me?
I'm trying to try troll.
I steal from the troll and give to
try
the troller.
try. Oh my fucking god!
Hey,
I don't think anybody's gonna understand what
Try
the hell
trolling?
just happened in the last 3 seconds.
I would say that we need to coin that phrase. The Robin Hood troll is the try troll.
Can we
No.
just coin the phrase Robin Hood troll?
Robin Hood troll.
Yeah,
I like Robin Hood troll.
Try troll has it has alliteration.
How about-
It's
how about-
easier to
But
say.
it doesn't. It
How about
doesn't.
Troll in the hood.
Troll in the hood.
Troll hood.
Try
weird.
troll doesn't purvey the
FF.
idea of what you're doing.
FF.
Robin Hood troll
Yeah,
does
if
give you the
at
idea.
first you don't succeed, troll again.
try troll. Try.
This whole thing has made me think that maybe the beer review is somewhere in the middle of the podcast, but we need to record it at the end of the podcast.
Why?
Yeah, I'm not buzzed at all.
I'm not saying we're buzzed, but maybe it would be fun if we were.
What? No,
No.
we'll just do double episodes again.
Oh dear fucking
Do we got time
Lord.
for one of those? No, we
No.
don't have time for one
We
of
got a
those.
game
No.
tonight, bro.
It's only 5:30. We've only been at this for
Yeah, well,
anyway.
we still
I'm about
got
to
a great topic coming up today.
We
so-
do actually.
What is that topic,
Speaking
Ben?
of,
Yeah, we're
do we need
gonna
to roll an ish.
we're gonna
first.
visit. Well, we're not done with the beer review yet. We haven't
Oh.
channeled our Gothar yet.
No, we
Oh
haven't.
yeah.
But
I'm halfway through. I think I got a few more drinks, and I can give you a solid opinion.
Okay.
Let me get this
Talk amongst
tasty
yourselves
beverage
a little
down.
bit.
You know, little Pulp Fiction reference because of the conversation earlier.
The smell of this beer is
yeah,
amazing.
it's got really good smells.
like,
It's got really good hop aromas.
you know what I wanted? What I want with this beer, I think would pair
Vanilla ice cream?
amazing. No, no,
I feel like that's what he says every time.
Fucking burger.
A Snickers. Fucking,
no. Chicken and waffles, man. This is a chicken and waffles beer. I want it.
Why
so
is this
bad.
guy so fucking weird?
What are you talking about? Weird.
Who drinks beer with waffles?
Chicken and have you ever had chicken and waffles?
Dude, you're asking a fat kid if he's ever had chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had chicken and waffles.
Have you ever thought to
But
yourself?
most of the time, you drink a Bloody Mary with the fucking chicken and waffles.
I'm sorry that you're so uncultured.
You uncultured swine!
I saw a video of a guy cut a hole in the fucking orange juice thing and then dumped a fucking champagne into it and chugged it.
That sounds
That
right
was,
up your alley.
that was a long beard ZZ Top comment.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I feel like that's right up your alley because there's a point in time
Oh yeah,
when John was a
Remember that?
mimosa man.
I still, if
Yeah.
I could, I would because mimosas are fucking amazing.
There's no worse
Dude, he
hangovers.
just had half an orgasm while he
you don't
said
have a
that.
hangover when you drink a mimosa at 8 a.m.
Yeah, no, you don't have the hangover, but
Was it the
by
mimosa
about,
or was it the
noon?
delicious eggs Benedict that we had
The eggs
afterwards?
Benedict.
Oh god,
Sherry.
eggs
It was
Benedict.
Breakfast.
It was literally party all fucking night at Ben's house. Wake up early in the morning to Ben cleaning that house, and then we all go to Sherry's and
Before
get
the 10
mimosas
a.m.
and breakfast.
kickoff.
Pie
And
shake,
then we get back and start screaming at the TV because our football team's losing.
While we drink more BL.
BLO.
yeah.
No, that
You know,
wasn't-
our Sunday fun days actually started at like 3 in the afternoon on Saturday.
That sounds like a great Sunday.
As a bartender,
Is that
I
the new
actually
drinking
purposely
contest?
took 12 to 8 shifts or 10 to 6 shift on Saturdays so I could be off by the time these guys were off from their place. So
Dude.
we could.
Dude,
What I-
it was just, I think that was literally every fucking weekend for about
3
10
years.
I think it was longer than
I
that.
don't know
No,
about that, man.
maybe
There's
not 10
other
years.
things going on, but at that last house, it was probably like 3 to 4 years.
At the last house, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
The previous
anyway,
houses before that, though, is other things.
yeah, that was like every day.
airy day.
Every day.
Airy
Yeah.
day. I
AD.
feel
I don't know how
All
many.
day.
I don't know how many times I slept on the couch at that
I don't
previous
know how
house,
many
and
times
then
I
woke
didn't
up and go to work.
because of that previous house. Or went to
Whoa.
work 3 hours late and had to leave
Still
3 hours
drunk.
early.
yeah. I think it's interesting.
I
Like
feel stupid
to
because
be 20 again.
I feel stupid because I just took a shit ton of mushrooms last night. What?
I think I'm coming down now.
yeah. I got to be where when
How do I drive a car?
We should have had these on a burger.
with some Swiss.
Oh.
John, stop. I'm going to give this beer
Swiss small liquor.
a 3.5 minimum.
I'm going to give it a 4. I like it.
I'm going 4.
This-
You're going
this
4?
is
Yeah, I'm
good.
going 4. I like
I think
it. It's good.
Then I will.
It doesn't take a
amend-
whole lot to get to my 4.
Yeah.
This is
daily-
good one.
As long as it's not chocolate, John will drink it.
I think this checks all the boxes for me. This is not heavy.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's not overwhelming by any sorts.
Yep.
It's a daily drinker.
I could
It's
drink
easy.
4 of
It
these.
is as good,
in a
easy.
4-hour
If
session.
they sold this in an 18 pack, I would buy this. In
This
an
is
18
good,
pack.
easy drinking, and for an easy drinker, one that tastes really good is
Well, then on top of
4
that,
all
like
the time.
being as it's almost summertime, like this is still a summertime kind of beer
Yeah,
to me.
I think this
Like,
could be
is a
all around.
flavor,
all year round.
a nice flavor beer.
Yeah, I would agree. So 4 it is.
4.
Gothar, what's that mean?
Gothar, hit us up with that 4 out of 4.
Rudy Tooty Fresh Ale Groovy.
Is this only our second 4?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it
the
is.
only one that Sweet As was the only other 4, right?
No, king
No,
size.
I
Was,
don't think Sweet has got a 4.
Oh,
Think-
let's go back. Sweet As, you get a 4.
Sweet Ass is really good.
It is. The more I think one of the things I was doing in previous reviews was reviewing it too early into my glass.
it might be, but the other thing that I think we've done, and we've been very open about this, is
So we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
we don't
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing.
and we're along for the ride, and everybody
Criteria
else is.
changes on a per episode basis.
But
Per
one of the
sip,
one of
fucking
the
basis.
yeah
was it
one of the-
proper number 12 involved?
yeah. One of the things that I have noticed though is like, for instance, the Mysterious Familiar. Like we all really love that beer, but one of the things that really dropped that beer down was the fact that
The repetitive drink.
it was an exhausting beer, and I think
we've
that's a
narrowed
high
it
thing.
down to like, is it an all year round drinker? Is it a smooth drink? Is it?
I think it's even easier than that. Is this something you bring to the table? Is this something you bring to the session?
I would bring Mysterious Familiar to the session though.
I think,
But all night?
If there's 6 people, I'd bring a 6-pack.
Okay, is it something you bring to the table? Yes, but then you throw in all night. Now you're
See?
getting into that
Yeah.
realm of is it a daily drinker?
So here's the daily drinker thing. I think is huge.
Daily
think
drinker.
That's huge as a daily. And not saying that we drink daily, but you go to the fridge and you're
for
paying
yourself.
you're
what am I gonna
minis.
What
or
am I gonna
whatever.
go to the gas station or whatever and be like, I don't know what I want. Oh, there, bam, got it. I'm out.
Sweet ass, keep cold.
Yeah,
Well,
if I saw sweet ads at a grocery store or a gas station, I'd just be like, oh shit, yep, there's what I'm grabbing.
I
wouldn't even think about it.
I actually want to point out though that I think part of the reason
This Oakshire, fuck yeah, I'm grabbing this
grab
shit.
it. This is
in a heartbeat.
Honestly, like I'm a big ESB fan. So,
and this is an ESB kind of
This is a very comparable.
What the
to
fuck is ESB? I know that's
Extra
special
special
bitter?
Oh,
yeah.
It's
I
in
think
the
I just
words.
went to myself.
You did. No, but I think we're bringing up a cultural aspect of this, and that's
Ooh.
the point. Of,
Social and cultural aspects of
That-
our favorite game
absolutely. Bring
and our
something.
favorite beer.
What Life's Adventure? Roll with it.
No, bring something to share.
This is why everybody should drink
Oh
beer.
yeah, dude.
Bring something
Man.
to share, even if it's a vegetable tray. Bring it.
Yeah,
Right? Like-
yeah.
It's already been brought in. Looking to populate your tabletop with outstanding fantasy miniatures? Then look no further. Sneak Attack Prince has a range that will satisfy all your fantasy tabletop needs. From heroes to monstrous foes, these highly detailed miniatures will leave your players in awe when you put them on the table during your next game. So grab yours today and level up your tabletop. www.etsy.com/shop/SNK Attack Prince and tell them of Dice and Brews sent you. So I guess we should kind of break down why we call this podcast of Dice and Brews.
Okay.
It's not really why just that we like beer
And dice.
and dice and D&D, but it's kind of like
But we do.
just like the storytelling, the collaborative storytelling aspect of Dungeons and Dragons, the kind of brew thing kind of goes with it. It's like the flavors of the night or
Yeah.
the feast aspect of the table, people contributing to the enjoyment of a party.
Yeah.
I see it like in my head. It's that stereotypical bar scene in all like fantasy movies where kind of dark, kind of smoky, lots of laughter, lots of various groups around, and you can feel the atmosphere of enjoyment, storytelling. People that probably don't associate with each other than inside this group, inside the bar or tavern. I don't know. That's how I feel. It's that warm tavern atmosphere.
So you come to a place
tell stories,
to tell
drink some beers,
drink some beer, share in an adventure, and then reap the benefits of that adventure.
That's what we are at Dice and Brews.
Exactly. So just like that, that's why we do the kind of the brews concept of this podcast is like, hey, share with your people, share with your table.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Bring something to the table.
Even more than that, I think anytime you can engage multiple senses, like I'm sight, sound,
Smell.
touch, smell, all that
Is
kind of
my
stuff.
speech slurred?
Preacher slur.
Is mine?
No.
Anyway,
Isma.
Isma?
Isma?
This guys, how's I sound right now? Anyway, no, I think, yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Good thing I don't have to drive home soon. No, I think anytime that you can bring those senses in, I keep harping on this like be present thing. Is like anytime that you can have layered senses onto the experience, the better, right? Like I just
Yeah. No.
I don't even know where to go from there
but
other than just be like
all I'm saying is that of Dice and Brews is
Enjoyment.
it's a complete concept. It's enjoy your adventure party and contribute to your adventure party in real life, just like you would in the game.
Yeah.
You know,
be a part of the
Be present.
situation.
and enjoy yourself. Enjoy the time that you have with people of different
You know what?
perspectives.
There's a picture I've seen throughout the years float around on the internet, and it's
No, that's not my ass.
no, that one's just on my phone.
Hey!
okay then.
But no, it's a bunch of people at a concert. Every single one of them, besides one person, has got their phones out recording, and then there's one little old lady that's just listening and watching.
Absorbing.
There's and
To use
it's-
one of your sayings to that point, every time that I've gone and seen Jack White, you have to put your phone in a special case, which a lot of people think is really crappy, but nobody's got their phone out. They are there.
Yeah.
They're present. They're doing it.
I'd
So
say-
Jack White, Raconteurs, I love those guys, but
Be there physically,
Yeah.
spiritually, emotionally, be in that moment.
it's super controversial
so-
for a lot of people, but it just makes such a better
I
experience.
get so wrapped up in those situations,
And
or even like we just came back from Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, and my wife, like, I love her to death, but she's all about taking pictures. And
I don't take
I
pictures
don't
of
take
anything.
pictures of anything either. I just absorb.
Yeah.
And I remember.
But that's fine. Everybody's different. But when I'm in those special moments or those places that I want to remember how they feel, how they taste, how they
You just-
smell.
yeah.
I just want to absorb it.
Yeah. I think, I mean, a picture is nice. A picture of something or a video of something is nice to have. Yes. But I don't think you can ever, no picture,
Can replicate anything other than a visual sense.
it can't replicate what you felt in that moment.
Well, I think-
you know, like I see sometimes like me and you were both fathers of little girls, and I look at my daughter or my son, and just out of nowhere, sometimes I see them, they'll make a face, and it literally pulls me back to a moment in their life years ago. I'm like, I could never get that in a picture.
Well, and here's the other thing too, is just like that feeling that you want to feel or you have etched in your brain about those. I think creating memories for other people is special too. Is being present when you're not on your phone or you're being present in their lives. You're creating a memory for those people too, because they will remember how in touch you were with them at that point, or how in tune you were with them at that point. So at the D&D table, that's why I love this hobby so much, and I consider it a hobby as opposed to just a board game.
Yeah.
Is the fact that yes,
Almost a lifestyle.
I spend a lot of money on this, but it makes me happy. But here's the other thing: is that I'm not just going out to the bar and looking for company from my peers. I'm actually engaging in a feeling, in something that I will hope will transcend the test of time.
And,
Well,
and it's
Creating a memory.
and sharing with the other people at that table. You know, I think that's a connection that you get.
Well, I think one of the fun things or interesting, I don't know what word you want to put on this, but one of the
Table. That's the word I want to put on that.
okay, the table things that is really
I love Mad Libs.
yeah, Mad Libs. Noun insert here.
Running.
Running. That's a verb. But anyway,
No, it's not.
Not to him.
anyway.
Forever DM.
No, the what's interesting is like we're talking about memories. You talked about taking the picture. Like visualization is actually not a visceral cue for our brains to remember something. I mean, it does help, but it's not. One of the things that gets us the most is that smell. And I guarantee that we all have, like, my great grandpa was like one of my biggest. He was around till I was 16. I was super close to him from the time I was born to the time that he passed away. If I ever smell that particular cologne that he used to wear or aftershave or whatever it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
The
I got-
private stock.
It was like these memories just flood in. And
Oh,
that's,
I got one that's so similar to that.
Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. If you're a parent, like, I would imagine, it probably takes you back to those first years of taking baths in the sink.
Throw up.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, mine is this is a really weird one. But in kindergarten, I remember
You were that kid that ate paste, weren't you?
we used
Who
colored
didn't? I did.
we used colored
didn't.
glues. Like
yeah.
colored glues. And they had a smell
Yep.
that like it was fucking horrible. A horrible
Love the blueberry one.
fucking terrible smell.
I know exactly
And
what
if
you're
I
talking about.
smell specifically colored glue, and if I'm like, you know, one of my kids is using a fucking colored glue, and I'm like, I go right back
Glue
to
sticks.
I go right
Yeah.
back to that school. I remember the field on the side that is now another school. Cherry tree, getting cherries and shooting BB guns because I lived right across the street from that school, shooting BB guns out my back porch with my brother.
Into the neighbor's sliding glass door.
I remember sliding. I remember me and my brother sliding down the stairs on a blanket, and I was in front, and he always put me in front because there was a wall at the very bottom of the stairs.
I would do the same.
But
Maybe
if I
that's where you got the widow's peak from.
if I smell colored glue, like all of that
Oh yeah.
part of my life comes rushing back to me.
But I think that's what's, we're this is kind of a preamble discussion talk that we're talking about as well. But I think that really does feed into the idea of modules versus homebrew, because there's for me, and I'm just transitioning here, is that modules give me permission to do things that I wouldn't think that I would do. Right? Homebrew allows me to expand on those permissions. And I think one of the things that we're kind of tying in together is like this visceral experience of like bringing in multiple senses. And that's why a book like, the Dungeons and Dragons WotC sanctioned Heroes Feast, or the Bartender's one that they've got, that's why that's a thing, is because we're bringing in other senses to illuminate and to solidify these different memories and moments. And so when I think about like a lot of the big celebrations that humans participate in, and I think it's cross-cultural, food is involved.
Oh, yeah.
And you
That's
really
that's
do.
a human connector.
I totally think so,
That's a
because you're
glue
meeting a
of
need with
humans.
other people, right?
Yeah.
And so
Well, drink too.
And drink,
I think-
drink.
But the consumable,
consumable, yeah.
food and drink.
what's so cool about that is that's where the module versus homebrew, like we are reviewing pre-made beers, but I'm willing to tell
I
you.
wouldn't want to review a unmade beer.
Well, no. I'm saying like this.
I know. I'm
The
fucking
beer
with you,
that
bro.
we reviewed today probably started out as a homebrew at
Yeah.
some point from the brewmaster or whatever. Is like, man, this
And now it's a module.
and now it's a thing,
And
right?
now it's a module.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so-
shit.
What I think's really interesting about
Don't
that,
knock Bud Light, because Bud Light started that way too. Then I guess.
I mean,
Coors.
well, no, I those
Is that
beers,
the starter set?
there's a lot to be said about that.
And then Coors Light is the Ice Fire Peak.
where's PBR in this?
That's somewhere sitting on the bottom of the DM.
Okay, it hasn't been
all right,
released
all right.
yet.
You know what though? All right, I'm gonna throw this out here. Then that means Rainier is like the Curse of Strahd. It's been around forever. It's still good.
No, it's Curse of Strahd 2nd edition, though.
It's
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah. No,
And-
but my point,
But it's been around forever, and it's one of those
my point,
staples
my point being is like
for the West Coast.
we full disclosure, we tried to split these topics up, and it just didn't make sense to
Yeah.
split them up, right? It's like you can't talk about modules without talking about homebrew. You can't talk about homebrew without talking about modules.
Yeah.
They both fulfill or scratch an itch that each person needs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially at this table, because I'm a big module fan, because personally, I'm not a very creative person.
I disagree. Keep going.
I like having a structure to base off of. I mean, I'll deviate off of that module a little bit here and there, but I like having that pre-built structure. It makes my DMing a situation a bit easier because it's already in a book. I like that, where you two are big into the homebrew, creating your stuff from scratch. You're building your sandcastles. And
I just have a very like anti-authoritative like bent in me, and I don't mean this to be like something we talk about, but like I just don't want something. I don't want to feel, and this is why I shy away from modules, with the exception of the starter sets. Love the starter sets for some reason, but I don't want to feel like I'm beholden to like, okay, this is the way
A
that
certain
it's-
outcome.
Yeah, and when it comes down to the module, so I'm not good at the like, don't tell me what to do, but I'm also not good at like
Man,
the
I
fact.
think I feel that's like,
I know, but like somebody put a lot of time and effort into this, and I want to respect that at the same time. And so it's just something that I know about myself because I've spent enough time reflecting on that, where I go, you know what? I'm going to pull some of that stuff in there. So that's why I love like the Sunless Citadel. That can drop into any campaign.
yeah.
And that's technically module material.
Yeah,
But-
it is.
It can drop into any homebrew campaign you want, right?
But I mean, I guess I do the same thing. Like the campaign we're running, I'm trying. I tried really hard to stick to the book at the beginning.
Mhm.
I've deviated greatly from that. But I'm still using that structure. I'm using the bones of the module.
Well, and to pump you up real quick, I just want to say, like, you have said multiple times in ours.
Iceland Dale.
Yeah, no, in the three of us trying to discuss this topic, and I think that's what makes this topic so vibrant is that we can't actually separate them. They're so
connected.
enmeshed.
They're part of each other.
You have done such a good job, at least for my character, and that's what I'm going to equate it on.
Not me. I'm going to shit all over you.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. But
He
like,
already does.
you have developed, like, to say that you're not a creative person, I think does you a disservice, because the level in which you have spent the time and taken the care to develop the signature artifacts or weapons or whatever of each person in our group, that takes a certain level of creativity.
And here, hold on.
The only thing to that though, the only thing I worried about doing that, and this might be a little bit off topic, the only thing I worried about doing that is I wanted to make unique items for you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I may have took that away from you guys though.
No, you didn't.
Because like I could have just given you an item and your characters could have chosen how to use it, but I made items that are very, very specific to each of you.
But per my backstory that I gave
yours took. I put a lot into yours.
Yeah, you literally like respected that whole thing except for one thing, and that was just something that we hadn't fleshed out yet. So I can't even say that you didn't respect it.
So here's the thing: is based on everything you guys are saying, is D&D. You as a DM, and modules give you. Modules, in my mind, are the brickwork. They're the ground floor. They're the foundation. You get your ideas from them, but you don't have a story unless your players are invested.
Yes.
You build
Very
your
much
story around your players.
Yeah.
And that's what I agree with you guys in saying that these things go hand in hand, because sometimes as a DM, you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So you need a starting point. And that can be anything. Anything can, in my mind, can be considered a module because that's your starting point. Where did you find your inspiration for your starting point? And then from there, your characters, even if you're following one of these modules, Out of the Abyss, Descent into Avernus, Storm King's Thunder, if you're following these, your players are not going to allow you to go by the book. Ever.
Yeah. No.
Something along the way is going to make you go a different way because your players are going to tell a better story than that book ever is going to.
Well, and there's a specific reason that those books are not as exact as
they're
not.
They're not super linear. They don't connect.
No, but here's the thing: is those
the players got to do all that.
Those books are foundation work.
Yeah,
take from those books. They want you to take from those books, but that's why they say that you can run those campaigns or those stories
over and over
again, because no group is ever going to be the same, and no characters are going to be the same. There's a time before that you.
I would even
just in what we've done so far in Icewind Dale. Say if you ran Icewind Dale now, where we're at now, it would not play out the exact same.
Well, no, because we wouldn't have Pim in that group. We wouldn't have Toth in that group. We wouldn't have Swain in that group.
You could run that,
wouldn't have,
and it wouldn't work out the same.
Yeah.
Like,
and
as somebody,
I took your guys' backstories. I like what they're doing with the modules now. All the modules that they've been putting out now, instead of being linear quest after quest, it's like here's a group of quests. Here's a group of quests. Here's a group of quests for each level. And as the DM, you connect your dots how you want. And I've used your guys' backstories to connect these dots to these various.
You have to, because your players, if they don't show an invested interest in your story, are going to ruin your story just as fast as it started.
Yeah.
You have to invest in your players so they'll invest in your story.
Yeah.
And this kind of feeds into our pre-funk is like DMs. Like you can't troll people for wanting or players for having fun.
No.
Like just if they bring something to you and they say, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think?" Don't tell them no.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Make a reason for a way that it can happen. Because guess what? If they're invested in it, everything that you get from them from that point on is gonna be gold, and it's in your back pocket.
Yeah,
we're
doing that literally in this campaign. Fucking Bag of Tricks is insane. I'm telling you right now that as a DM, oh my fucking god, a Bag of Tricks is insane. But I'm not gonna take it away from Jake.
No,
he loves this, and
he's having fun, and we're having fun.
Becoming a part of his character.
There's nothing better in my mind than watching him work.
Yeah.
During a session. Because you know what is like so us three sitting at this table, we're kind of always, and we've been through this, we're kind of always the story pullers.
Yeah.
We pull the story along.
Yeah.
With this new bunch of people with the Tyler that we brought in, the Alex we brought in, and Jake that we brought in, like, man, I feel like we've met the trio that kind of expands us a little bit and allows people just to be present.
Yeah.
Well, it
be
stops
there.
us from being sedentary.
Yeah. Well, and then you don't
Absolutely.
it doesn't feel like it feels like fun.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fun. It doesn't feel like,
Yeah.
and dude, and just to watch Jacob's face as he's doing all these things, or
An
to hear,
Echo Knight with a bag of tricks.
my God. I work with this guy, and for him to tell me, like, dude, I went home and I did research on my character, and I know, like,
He's invested.
Yeah, no, he's totally invested, which is awesome, because when you hear a newer player say those things, you're like, dude, you're in it. You're in it for life.
I know.
man.
And as the
what
DM,
are the-
I got to come up with ways like.
What do the cocaine dealers say?
I don't
First
know.
one's free.
I smoke rocks.
Yeah.
Well, we got him.
As the DM.
He's hooked.
With a party of 5 and a character that's an Echo Knight who controls. So the Echo Knight controls the Knight and the Echo.
And the Echo.
And then he always dumps all 3 animals out the bag of tricks. So that's 5 creatures that this one player is running. That's a total of 9 characters at the table. But you know what though?
Yeah.
I
Your
could
math
never
is
take
off,
that.
but
I
okay.
could not take that away
It's
from me.
exciting
5,
to watch.
maybe?
It's
Yeah.
exciting to
5
watch.
is what you mean?
No. I said
9?
9 because the rest of the people at the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
No. I was like, no, my math was right. What are you talking about?
Math is off. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, like, your characters drive the story. And like you said, that bag of tricks wasn't necessarily intended for Jake. Wasn't necessarily intended for the
It's just a random drop.
But here, and we thought it might be fitting the druid, but then even the player realized that you're not using this. Give this to me.
Yeah, he
'Cause
took it
I
from the
wanna
druid.
Use it.
Yeah.
Because I want to use this the way that I want to. And that's, dude, when you have those players invested in your story, those are what writes your stories. Those
Just
are
so
what
you
tells
guys
your
know,
stories better.
Our fighter is a fucking summoner.
oh,
It's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah. No, seriously, because, and that's what makes this game amazing is DM, PCs, we didn't see that coming.
No.
And that's what makes it really cool. And it's,
And now that's module. And
but that it,
No,
yeah,
that-
but
hold
you
on.
know what though? I think the
Module
player
as-
turned that homebrew.
No, yeah, but that's module as foundation work, which
Yeah.
I'm saying. Here's the thing: is I used to be just on the opposite end of you, John. I'm homebrew guy. I thought I was a homebrew guy altogether. But I've been, even in my homebrew life, I've been stealing from modules my whole DM experience.
and if you're not, you're doing it wrong.
Exactly, because they're laying the foundation work. If you allow modules to give you ideas, use them as ideas. And I'll agree with Andy in saying that you're not a creative person. You create on a minute-to-minute basis
All the
in
time.
this game during
Yeah.
the sessions that we play. There's no module can prepare you for anything.
For
Yeah.
us.
It gives you guidelines, but like we said before, that the players and the DM
Mhm.
together create the content. And every content is going to be different every session that you play. So not to allow yourself a resource and a tool as in a pre-written adventure, and I'm not saying you have to run it all the way through. There's aspects like the best thing about these modules that I'll say about 5th edition is they write them like storybooks for the DM.
You can
So
literally
you can read them as a storybook, as an epic, and then pick out the best parts that you want to follow as a DM and
100%.
be like, hey, look, I really like this. Or I don't like how they got to point A to point B, so I'm going to interject a little bit of homebrew into these because I think it will flow better for my party.
And I'm going to give, a little shout out here just to D&D and Wizards of the Coast, because I'm pretty sure at the beginning of every single one of their books, they tell you that.
Yeah.
They tell you, do with this book as you will. Pretty much. It's just a guideline.
Well, and I think that's what makes this conversation something that we can't split up, even though that we tried.
It did not work.
It maybe it
just
did.
didn't feel natural. It
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
feel like a D&D topic. It didn't feel like a collaboration of stories being told.
There was a lot missing in both.
Yeah, it felt empty. It felt like
Joseph-
you were just reading a guideline book, an outline.
Joseph Campbell wrote a book called The Hero of a Thousand Faces.
Cream of mushroom soup.
I don't understand that reference, but okay. I'm going to move on. Anyway,
Campbell's
Campbell's soup?
Joseph Campbell.
I know, but
I
you
know,
said
but I didn't.
Campbell.
Anyway.
Campbell.
Yeah, I got
Campbell?
that. I got that.
Campbell's.
Campbell.
If you're Scottish, I'm sorry. Anyway, because I'm part of the. Anyway, The point being is that
We're done sharing.
is that there's
Delete
only,
that.
there's only a few stories that actually can be told, right?
There's only 12.
there's man versus it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go through all of them. Point being,
Yeah, but what you're saying is there's 12 stories, and we just repeat those same 12 stories over and over again in various different ways.
yeah,
Various different.
I didn't know there were 12. I thought there were 3, but
No,
anyway.
it's. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong on the number, but it's.
Man
I think it's
versus
12.
environment, man versus man, man versus structure is what I understood. I could be wrong. I haven't read Joseph Campbell's. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on it. Thought that I was an expert. Don't think that. Anyway.
Did you play one on TV?
I'm not
I
even
did.
talking Joseph Campbell. This is a different person. He said
Point
there's
being
12 stories.
is like all of these stories come down to a couple themes.
Yeah.
And they're regurgitated, they're recycled, they're over and over again
Reskinned.
all the time.
That is huge.
Reforged
Yeah.
for us dwarves out there?
There you go. Gothar would be proud. Rebrewed. I don't know. Anyway,
Can you rebrew something?
I don't know. I've never tried it, but I
I don't
kinda
want to.
now.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
I
I
know.
kind of want to.
No.
The
You
way
can
that I
drink that
would
one.
rebrew it is I would brew a beer and then I would distill that beer into make a spirit. And that might be really good.
Isn't that how they get like some of these alcohols like that are brewed in
well, they're
beer barrels?
Okay.
No,
That just
they're
reminded
brewed.
me.
Are we sharing casks
This
now?
just
and
reminded. All right,
they
hold on.
store them
Hold
in
on.
casks to
That's
age.
like brewing a pot of coffee and then using that pot of coffee to fill the water tank in the back to brew another pot of coffee.
Would it then be an iced coffee?
I support
no,
that
you put
idea.
it back through the fucking
Would it be
machine.
double caffeinated?
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I fully support that.
Somebody listening of the 4 listeners
You're
we
like, you
have.
fucking idiots!
No, they're probably like, "Oh, I do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
bro. Why do you think that I am the way I am? What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
You buy energy
I'm about
drinks.
to rob and troll the shit out of you.
I double brew my coffee.
Yeah, no, but point being is that we as a society and is that a drinking contest thing or a drinking?
It should be. I feel like you say
Yeah.
that every fucking time.
Well, you say it too, and I
I
think
don't say as a society.
well, but I think that we should also point out that John just left to take a piss, and that's also a point in time for you to take a drink, whether it's iced tea or a beer or whiskey
Or double caffeinated coffee.
or double caffeinated coffee. No, this game is so I don't want to be the fanboy, but it's hard for me to even call it a game anymore now that we've started this podcast because it is an outlet. It's not so much a game as it is an outlet for us to actually experience the epic adventure that is so lacking, at least in American culture today.
I wouldn't just say American culture. I just say,
That's my experience, so that's why I said it.
but well, I understand that, but I think it's an outlet for us to experience, to reconnect human beings together in an era where we are totally reliant on these little machines, little computers that we put in our pockets. D&D is an outlet for communication that is lacking in your everyday life.
Well, and I could be wrong, but I mean, the communicator, which was a George, or the guy that did, I'm going to get,
William Shatner?
no, I'm going to get
Star Trek?
the writer,
Stardate.
the writer of it.
Something on the wing.
There's a game out there where they tell stories collaboratively.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
I'm gonna get
blowing my mind.
land-based, and I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember.
We're Star Wars fans, not Star Trek.
Yeah, Gene Roddenberry. Thank you. I figured it out.
I figured.
Figured it out. Anyway,
And this guy was wanting to do the beer review after.
no,
the-
but okay. So yeah, but there's been a lot of Black Barrel involved in this. No, so he came up with this communicator.
He did have an energy
idea,
drink, too.
right? He didn't, and that was back in 1960 something, 1970s. And now we actually have these, and they're way more than he ever thought that they would be 3 centuries earlier than he thought that they would happen, which is interesting because one of the things that I think's really
Still waiting for my Back to the Future hoverboard, though.
we already passed the year that was
Yeah,
supposed to happen in
what is it?
2015.
Yeah, 2015. But what's
But yet we
interesting about
see
this,
middle-aged teen wolf right in front of us.
we do. Middle-aged or over the hill teenage?
Over the hill.
Doctor Strange meets Teen Wolf.
Yeah, there we go. No, but what I think think's interesting
Dr.
about
Wolf.
that is that I was
Teen Strange.
watching something where a gentleman said something to the effect of is that one of the challenges that we have today is we have access to all the information, i.e. our phones, but we don't have the life experience in order to contextualize that information. And what I think
Intelligence versus wisdom?
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
No.
we're a high intelligence society with a low intelligence or low wisdom aspect to it. And
I you know what I will say though is that I think
it's my turn. Take a drink.
That I think that we're either or. You're either high. There's very few of us that are high intelligence, high wisdom.
Very few.
There's a lot of us that are high intelligence, low wisdom, and there's a lot of us that are high wisdom, low intelligence.
But I think as a society, we want to get to a both and, not an either or.
Oh, absolutely, that would be ideal for sure. But but I'm just saying, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of life experience that really don't maybe have the proper knowledge or the proper terms for what they're trying to convey or what they're trying to demonstrate.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of us out there that have the proper terms for those things,
but don't have
maybe
the
don't have the life experience for those things.
Yeah.
So they're coming from at the same subject from different points of view.
Yes.
And they're trying to find the common ground to which, yes,
they're
this is how
probably
it's
both
supposed to
arguing
work.
the same point.
Absolutely.
But they're arguing still.
And I think going back to our original point or original topic of this conversation is homebrews versus modules, is they're both approaching the same subject.
Which one's which then? I mean, just curiosity. Which one
I would say that the modules are probably high intelligence, low wisdom, and the homebrews are probably high wisdom, low intelligence. Off the bat.
Personally, I would honestly go the opposite way, just because the modules are built off of long-term experience, where the homebrew is built off of literally the intelligence you gain from the books and reading the knowledge.
Okay, so
it's short term.
But here's what I would associate them with D&D classes though. So to whereas modules is associated with a wizard and book learned, and whereas homebrews is associated with like a wisdom aspect or a druid or a cleric.
See, I literally would go the opposite way. I would say the homebrew is the wizard and the module is the druid, because
or let's just keep in the same kind of class as like, okay, so even though a sorcerer is a charisma based class, sorcerer is kind of that homebrew aspect, fly off the cuff, live with the wind, I'm just gonna go with it because it feels good. That's homebrew. Wizard is, I'm gonna study this book, I'm gonna know this book, I know the content,
okay, from the DM perspective, I think that's going from a DM perspective.
Well, I
yes,
mean, modules versus homebrews is kind of what we're talking about.
The way I was picturing in my head the first go around was the creators. The creators of the modules come from vast experience of playing.
Yeah, and I'm just talking about the people picking up these books.
Okay, yeah.
Because
then yes, flip them around.
Right, because
as the DM
what we're talking about is we're like, hey, what's better, or what should you go with, or
I would agree.
Blah 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 blah. But I don't think that you can have one without the other. Just for instance, because I don't really think that you can honestly put together a full perspective on something without the intelligence or without the wisdom.
To Andy's analogy earlier about the beers being homebrews at one time, I mean, all these modules that we're playing and getting now, they were homebrews in somebody's head.
Well, and more than that, the Circle of Eight was a homebrew at some point in time, and now that's D&D canon.
Well, you know what's D&D canon now? A homebrew that we all watch. Critical Role. It's fucking canon.
Just to be, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is.
No, just to be clear, I'm saying, but also the originator Gary Gygax of D&D, his world is canon.
Greyhawk.
Yeah.
So, and Faerun is canon, and that was somebody's homebrew.
Eberron, which is a winner of a fucking.
But this is what I'm saying is like
a competition or something.
I don't think, just like in real life when you're trying to approach these subjects, people have book smarts of reading the books. They know the books. They know how this is supposed to work, but they don't have the real life experience. Yeah. And then there's the people that are like, no, I know how this works because I physically worked with it. I know how the integral parts work. I know how this is supposed to flow. To be completely complete, Completely complete.
Did you just use that 3 times?
To be totally complete. I don't
Okay.
think you can have one without the other. So in my mind, switching from just a homebrew guy, I think that you can't be a complete DM or you can't be a complete D&D player until you've absorbed the knowledge of the modules that they're giving you, the information that they're giving you in the modules. And I'm not saying use everything. I'm not saying run a module,
Yeah.
but read it. Read it.
I disagree.
Enjoy the stories. As a DM, be able to homebrew and let your players create your story with you.
I disagree.
Ooh.
I think
Challenge.
modules are.
Gauntlet.
I know.
Troll.
I threw it down. Troll?
Just
No.
roll with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with it.
troll.
No, because what's really interesting, you brought up the beer analogy.
Somebody get the
a little
fire.
a little bit ago, is all of the beers that we enjoy today. Even
That's not a beer. That's a fucking liquor.
I know, even the hard liquors that we enjoy today
Versus the soft liquor.
Some guy was hanging out making this or something like this, right? Or I had the pleasure of meeting
Who drank milk from the first fucking cow?
I don't want to go there right now because that's
That
whole
was me.
other topic.
That was you?
Anyway, I met a
That was a
gentleman.
homebrew at one point.
I
now
I was
it's
going to say something not.
now it's a
Yeah,
module
stop.
when we buy it at the store.
Okay, I'll abandon that. But point being is that we have all of our modules started out as homebrew. It's not a which came first, the chicken or the egg. We know which one came first. Okay,
Homebrew came first.
Homebrew came first. What's great
This whole
about
fucking game. Like
is homebrew.
the
But here's
entire
what
structure
I'm-
of the
I'm-
game
but
is
what I'm
homebrew.
trying to say is like now. Okay, so I understand where you're going with this, Andy. Where homebrew
Do you,
came
though?
first. Yes, I do. I understand. I have the high ground, Anakin.
John said.
So here's where it gets real, though. Is that stuff has already been happening, and now I'm talking about the newer people coming into this hobby, or somebody wanting to pick up DMing,
Yeah.
who's maybe scared of it. DMing can be an intimidating thing.
But that's my point. Is that the homebrew that has shown as successful and or what the original creators wanted to make gives permission to people. That's all it does. It doesn't say,
But they're not homebrews anymore. Now they're modules, man. So now they're
I know
picking up
that.
their book. Those books are now modules.
Okay.
Those experiences are now modules.
okay,
The
but this,
content is not modules. Like we said before, the DM and the player make the content. The guidelines and the setting and the mechanics, those are the guidelines.
but my point is that there is like, it's not a versus argument.
No.
No,
It's a,
No.
you're peeing, and we just made that.
yeah, okay.
Should have
Sorry.
been here for that fucking conversation
Yeah,
already,
fuck.
bro.
Well, I pulled a John and
Yeah,
I went
how-
to John.
I
yeah.
hopped in, and besides the fucking little doorbell thing over there, you wouldn't even known.
But here's the thing: is that we're arguing
which
the
doesn't
same,
show up on
we're
them.
arguing the same point then,
Yeah.
and we're saying that one can't really
Goddamn
coexist without the
wisdom
other.
person and intelligence person arguing the same point from two different perspectives.
I'm taking it a step further. The modules are just the homebrews that have become popular.
yeah.
I'm not saying that they're either or.
And
It's all homebrew.
But what the whole point of this topic for me is to prove or to explain why, as a DM, take a fucking drink. As a DM, take another fucking drink.
As a DM?
As a DM, take another fucking drink. You can't.
we got to
have-
play tonight,
You
guys.
can't have one without the other. You shouldn't have one without the
No.
other. You shouldn't limit yourself to one.
And
You should, as a DM, take another fucking drink.
good God, bro, you're on a roll.
You should take.
What are you?
You should take.
Bard.
I'm a forever drink. You should take both.
I agree with
and
what you're
make
saying,
them
but my
into
point.
whatever your style is, so
I think-
that you can be
No, but
your homebrew can be the next canon module for the next guy.
but I think it goes deeper than that because
I don't know if it's
That doesn't
that
need-
deep.
doesn't
let me
need to
finish.
go.
Let me
Yeah,
finish.
Why?
Let me finish because here
You didn't finish. You're four drinks deep.
I think I'm 6 actually at this moment.
Okay, that's worse.
Anyway, let me finish though. On this point, I think generally the pejorative, meaning the negative side of things, is
Thank you for clarifying. I'm not intellectually inclined on that word. I'm wisdom.
okay. The pejorative is oh, you're a DM that is a module DM. Well, the reality is those modules started out as a homebrew. Okay. And then somebody went through and figured out where the kinks were, and they ironed out those kinks. And I guess my biggest point through all of this is if you are somebody that's like, I'm only a module DM or I'm only a homebrew DM, guess what? You're in the wrong deal, because
Guess what? You're actually both.
you're actually both. And
And that's what I've come to realize. I was the
This was
module dude, but I'm real, like, especially as going on.
That's what I've come to
And-
realize too.
Yeah, and
this was
Andy,
somebody's homebrew at some point.
Andy,
And
I really
I
think
think
this is the a very sincere case of
I went to pee.
you guys arguing the same point from two different
I was
perspectives.
about to say,
Yeah.
you're painting
The exact same
with
picture.
the fine detail brush, and I'm trying to stroke with this fucking giant 1.5 one.
But
I'm
to
painting
more
terrain, and you're fucking painting eyes for
to
some
more
stupid
to more current situations for
Are they
people
wonky?
that are for people that are new to the
Six-string
game,
Steve, yeah.
maybe for people that are new to the game, maybe and trying to determine if they want to create a homebrew or run a module. I personally I would say run a module first, and after your first or second session, you're gonna really quickly realize you're going off the rails here.
And
You're
I would,
homebrewing from
and,
there.
and here's what I would say is I would say read a module that inspires you
Yeah.
to
Or do that.
run a game.
And my
And you don't even pick up a group yet. Just pick up a book that you find interesting
Yeah.
and read it and say, does this inspire me to DM? And then be like, read it and then
Mhm.
say, what would I change in this?
Yeah.
yeah.
And then get your group. And now that you're
Take
inspired to
those
be
bones,
a DM, rearrange them, make your own fucking creature, because that's what homebrew is.
Yep.
And then spin it to your fucking players, and then
Yeah.
they'll create something else, and you'll be forced to fucking
And
go
even-
for it.
and if-
that's the
if you
point I'm
feel-
trying to make is that
You didn't
it's-
say any of that.
Yeah. How'd you?
No,
I don't
hold
know
on,
where
hold
the
on, hold
connections
on, hold
You're
was.
on.
fighting me.
let me no, we're not fighting. It's not a question, and I've said this already. It's not an both.
Don't
It's not
point
an.
your finger at me.
It's not an either or. It's a both and. It's not a question of this world has gotten into these like binary modes where it's like either you're a Republican or you're a Democrat or you're an atheist or you're a theist or you're all these different things. It's not that. Okay? It's they're both and. You don't have to pick.
No,
Nobody-
and that's what we're arguing, man.
Yeah.
Is that
We've been saying that.
you went to the
I know.
bathroom.
I did go to the bathroom, but I'm passionate about this.
That's
shit.
fine.
Yeah, I can
but,
tell,
But I
bro.
think that's
Hate binary thinking.
I think that's why that feeds into our pre-funk about the trolls. Is like if you're thinking one way or the other and you're not seeing the open-endedness of
Shit's not
life,
black and white,
you're
bro.
in the
general, you're in the wrong.
Shit is not black and white.
It's gray, and it's so many shades of
There's
gray.
fucking
more
color-
than 50.
There's colors in the rainbow that we
It's-
can't see, and they are out there.
It's not even shades of gray. They're like you said, it's color. There is
Yeah.
color. We're
But-
not even talking about gray.
Can I be teal?
But
We have
back to
hue,
back to
we have
module.
saturation, we have value.
I was
mean,
just saying that most people equate one side or the other to black and white, and
I-
then when
maybe
you
it's
mix
because I'm
variant
6
shades
drinks in.
of
And now we just
black
got
and
a
white,
color
it is
wheel
great.
and-
Yeah, now you got fucking color. Hold on, somebody put some ink in
Hues
this
and
bitch.
saturations
No,
and
but
Somebody buying
contrast
eggs for
and
Easter.
fucking scroll that slider bar over to
No,
the right.
we're-
This is what I'm passionate
I
about.
could
we're,
tell.
We're all on the same page, though. You're arguing.
Yeah.
You're trying to pick a fight with people that are fucking already.
Oh no,
already said-
sorry. I wasn't trying to pick a fight. I was just trying to be passionate.
Well,
in
no,
presenting
no,
my
you're
point.
fine. But I'm not. And by pick a fight, I just mean like you think somebody's disagreeing with you.
No. I
It feels
know,
that way.
okay, and it feels that way, but I know, and it's
feelings are hurt, man.
it's typically
Get down
not the people that
The
are like,
feels.
oh, modules are the only way to go. It's typically you homebrew gatekeepers. I enjoy homebrew. I'm not going to discredit that. It's fun. But if your DM or your play group and that's how you play is playing a module, suck it
Now,
the
when you say
fuck up.
homebrew, and all the various
But
Hold
here's
on.
the thing that I think that we come to
real
a
quick, can I ask a
conclusion.
question? In all the various Facebook groups or social media groups that we're in, you say homebrew gatekeepers. Are you talking about people online that say homebrews are the only way to go?
Yeah, I'm talking about like,
or are you saying they want to gatekeep you from going to homebrew and modules?
No, they're talking about modules
they're
the
being,
wrong way.
They're being like,
Okay,
oh,
I see
you,
that a lot. I see a lot of people
you
say
can't
fuck
come up
modules,
with your
fuck
own
modules.
idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know
Nobody
what?
can. But that's what I'm saying is that,
Yeah.
and I'm agreeing with what you said. It's not either or. It's both and.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that your players, however many players you have, whether it be 1, whether it be 2, whether it be 3, whether it be 8, no matter what you read in that book, no matter how you plan that home brew, no matter what you do, they're going to tell you how it's going, and they're going to point you in the next direction. And whether you go that way or not, you're going to go that way if you're a good DM.
Yeah.
Just saying. You're going to go that way if you're a good DM, because the more your players are invested, like we said before, the better the story you're going to tell together.
Amen.
But
preach.
You can't have one without the other.
Preach.
It's like that fucking show, Married with Children. Love and marriage, love and marriage. You can't have one without the other. But here's the thing. You can't be married to this game if you don't love it. You can't be married to this game if you don't love and incorporate your players.
Yeah.
Because your players make the world go round.
And they make it something that is alive.
Which makes it homebrew. So you can start a module all you fucking want. If you want to end that module how it's written, then just read the book. If you want to end that module how it's written in a game sense, it's never going to fucking happen.
But even, okay, hold on, though, back up a second. Even if you want to end it as it's written, that creates a puzzle for you as a DM.
How are you going to get there?
How are you going to get back
with
there?
all the derailment that your characters are bringing
Here's
you?
the thing, though, is I don't think it's up to you to get there. I think it's up to your player to get there. But all the time I've been saying, okay, I want you guys to step inside my mind real quick. Okay, like
all right,
this is coming in from the Forever DM. And when I started this, I have this beard though. Here, that's true. Part the Red Sea. So when I started
with white,
when I started
Red Sea with white caps.
That's right. This is the fucking Swiss Alps. When I started this journey as a 5th edition DM, when I said I want to play this game and I want to run this game for other people and I want to enjoy collaborative storytelling with other people, I didn't understand what collaborative storytelling was.
Oh, I think we've been all on that journey since you introduced us to it.
So I started out with like the mindset of like, I'm going to tell my story. This is a story that I want to tell for these people. I didn't know how much of an impact the players have on your perceived story.
Oh yeah. Huge. They write it.
They do write it. And as that person that runs the game, what's that called?
A DM?
Forever?
A GM?
So as you run that game, you realize more and more is that you cannot control people. You cannot control characters. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard, even if, and I want to go beyond the fact of like, even if you think you're on a railroad, you're never fucking on a railroad.
No.
Well, your players derail your railroads so many fucking times.
Hopping around from track to track to track to track.
We probably need to revisit the conversation of railroad because those aren't the same thing as module versus homebrew. Railroad is where you take away the player's agency to actually affect the world.
That's extreme. That's extreme.
I don't think it's that way.
I think that's going on to the extreme.
I think railroad is giving them the sense of the urgency that this is the only thing that you need to take care of at this moment and now take care of it. Sandbox is saying you have a slew of things in front of you.
Do as you please.
None of them seem to be any more better or for worse than the other. But the other thing is that if you don't take care of this one and you take care of this one, then this one is already going to happen. And, so now you have a consequence.
That's why we should talk about that later.
Sandbox is cause and effect, and railroad, in my opinion, is straight. This is the goal. This is the goal. Yeah. Go for it. This is the only thing affecting you right now.
Not player agency, because I think in the campaign I'm running with you guys, do you feel it's railroaded?
Yeah, or man, you got me on that fucking C's train all day long.
Or Andy, is my campaign railroaded or is it pretty open?
No, but what I want you to imagine really quick is a funnel.
I understand your perspective. You just explained your perspective of railroad, but I think that's a very, very extreme perspective of the term railroad.
But I think we've been across this aspect of it way, way before in a couple other episodes where even if you start your session in a sandbox, even if you don't have a sense of urgency for your players or a goal that you want your players to accomplish, by the time they reach the level of heroism or they feel heroic enough to save the world, they're searching for what are we trying to stop? What are we trying to do?
They need that railroad.
So they need the railroad. So by that point in the campaign, are you necessarily railroading them? Because they want that end game.
Yeah.
So the difference between sandbox and railroad, in my opinion, is a railroad, even if you start at level 1, the end goal is always in sight. The ending stop for that train is always known.
Yeah.
So even if you start to level 1 and you're saying, listen, we're in this town and this thing is fucking killing villagers, even if this thing is like the pinnacle of this thing is like not even with this village, you're always chasing that thing that's always killing the village.
Yeah.
And that's always the end game. It's like, what was killing this village, even if it leads you to level 20? In a sandbox, nothing has a sense of urgency, unless in the player's mind. The players create the sense of urgency.
Yeah.
So if the players deem something more urgent than another, that doesn't mean that that thing was more important. It just means that they solve that thing and everything else still happens, which creates cause and effect. In the sandbox, there's cause and effect. In a railroad, it's just the one goal, the one objective the whole time. And the players are aware of that, in my mind.
And I would say that I think this is a different topic. I don't think we can do, personally, because how vehemently I feel about what railroading really is. I don't think railroading is like, hey, if you don't deal with this, so-and-so is going to nuke the world. That's not railroading. That's something that's actually happening right now. What are you going to do to deal with it? Okay. But so for you to say that, like, what I heard you say, is that you were saying that, like, this is the end and everything has to lead to that.
Okay, so in my opinion, and I knew I told you guys when we did this little conference thing at the beginning that I wasn't going to bring up video games or we weren't going to talk video games. In my opinion, video games are railroads.
Agreed. 99%
of video games are railroads.
Okay.
There's some choices that have different endings depending on choices and stuff like that, but 99% of games are railroads because they're scripted. The end is this. This is what you fight at the end.
It doesn't have an AI to create.
No, it doesn't. But at the same time, like, you go through the journey, but there's always this beginning thing where even if it's trivial to your level 1 character, it always feeds into the bigger thing at the end. And you're always searching for that cause of the beginning thing at your little state of mind or your level 1 or whatever. In my mind, that's the railroad. That's the one track. Even though it has twists and turns, even though it has a couple switch flips because your players are going to give you that journey or whatever, that's a railroad. In a sandbox, in a D&D game, or in how D&D should work, is that your players choose everything that there is until you as a DM, or you get the sense from your players that they're looking for that railroad effect. I believe that all campaigns end in a railroad effect. To be honest with you.
For sure. I think,
have to.
Like you said, you get to that god status. You're looking to save the world, and the DM is probably only going to create one world-ending scenario.
It doesn't even have to be save the world. You're looking for where your character fits in.
I just use that as a terminology.
But I'm just building on what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be save the world, but you're looking for where your character fits in history.
Yeah.
You're looking, where am I carving my niche at? What am I going to be known for? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Why is my purpose? Why do I keep leveling when everybody else around me is doing the same fucking thing and they're not catching levels?
And to any between a homebrew and module, I think the D&D creators, the writers of these modules, are building on that very aspect, because the past 3 modules that they come out, I think I've said this before, the first levels 1 through 5 are so sandbox. There's fucking a million quests that the players could choose from at random, however they want to do it. But after level 5 or level 6, and guess what? We're going on a single story now.
I also think
that's the exact same.
Right. But and I think homebrews do the same thing. But I think that modules are lending themselves well to the people that don't think that they are creative. And also, I think that they also say, hey, look, here's a whole bunch of choices. If you want to railroad your players, pick the ones that you like.
Yeah.
And do it.
Or if you don't, here's various different ideas that your characters can stumble across any one of these at any given point in time.
The only thing that I will say is, as a con to a homebrew as opposed to pro, well, not the only thing, but one of the things that I will say is that starting blocks, starting from square one, where you don't have anything. You're not playing in a campaign setting that's already predetermined. You don't have anything. It's hard and it's overwhelming to look at the overarching world because you don't have anything. So you're like, where do I start? What do I start with?
As a player,
as a DM.
Okay, I was a
'Cause
DM.
I think this whole conversation is about DMs.
Yeah, mostly DMs. You got your night.
Yeah, well, it's only fitting, right? We'll go back to the DM. But
Take your notes, all right. Sorry, that was a deep cut.
in a homebrew world, it's crazy amounts of work to create a world from absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I have not even
if you're
dabbled
borrowing
in it yet.
even if you're borrowing from other things, it's insanely hard. And getting the starting point can be overwhelming because you're like, where do I start? Do I start with the overarching world? Do I start with the continents? What do I start with? Blah, blah, blah. Don't start with anything but your starting point for your characters.
Your town.
Whatever
Done.
it is. It doesn't matter what it is.
Whatever you start with, whatever your session one's about, whatever it is, tavern, town, a fucking middle of a desert,
Your
whatever. Who gives a
adventure
fuck? Whatever you start, build from there.
And feel free to
let your
change
players
that
build.
all you want.
Fuck, write down notes.
Yeah. You have to. You absolutely have to.
Oh, he said this about that? Yep.
Yeah.
That is now a thing.
And use your characters as a resource because they're going to build your world for you.
Yeah.
And like I said many times before in the same episode, is that your characters, if they're invested, will write the best story for you, because they're going to give you gold every time they open their mouth if they're invested.
To flip this around
you can't flip it around.
From a module perspective, you could take any fucking module out there and reskin it to whatever you want. And as if you're playing a module, like I think I'm starting to do this. I didn't do it at first, but I'm starting to do this the past few sessions. You deliver the information that you're given, but take in the information that your players give you and create from there. Like don't knock over that can. I'm still running the campaign, the module campaign, but you guys are pulling me away from it, and I have to create now, and I'm creating at this
That's
point.
where it becomes the fact where you detach yourself from the module itself, and you say, "Hey, look, now this is our campaign. This is not the module that I was reading before."
Yeah.
Even though you're still borrowing, even though you're still you're putting your mark on it. You're owning it.
Yeah. And not just me, us as a
no, not just you. I'm saying you're owning it, as in like whoever's at your table is owning the experience. I don't think that like before, like I said, like in being from a homebrew point of mind, I don't think you can have one without the other.
No, I think that I think if you're homebrewing, you should probably read some modules.
If anything you get from them is how the adventures are you're supposed to plan for them. Yeah, the
you can get structure out of them. You don't even have to take the story, just to get the structure.
Because even if you have questions, like I said, the homebrew before is like it's hard to start. In a module, it gives you the starting blocks. Yeah. Like you don't have to necessarily take those exact blocks out of the module, but you can see how they started.
Yep. And
you can just take those points and feed them. And then once your characters get it, they just keep it rolling, and you just keep you just keep it going. It's like fuel to the fire. And that's why I think that they say that no two campaigns will ever be run the same, is because depending on your play group, depending on who's DMing.
I think the only way you can have two campaigns run the same way is if you have the exact same players playing the exact same characters.
And even then,
I don't think it would.
But here's the thing: is like my itch.
That's the closest you can get. I think.
But I've run, and we all have. I've played in 3 different starter sets. And they've all been different.
The same starter set.
And I've played with one of them, the DM being the same. So, and it was never the same. So nothing's ever going to be the same, because not only that is like. Humans have, as intelligent as we are, we have short-term memories to details.
Yeah.
Even if we do remember some things, we have short-term memories to very, very fine details. And the very fine details are kind of what makes each campaign individualized. They give the campaign life, those individual little details. And the players create those individual little details. So like I said before, that D&D is a chess game. The DM places pieces, the players interact with pieces, and the DMs interact with the players interacting with those pieces. And then you just constantly move your
God
pieces.
God damn, you lost me after you said pieces the first 7 times.
Reese's Pieces?
No, I wasn't
really
lost.
Want some Reese's Pieces right now.
But no, that it's totally I'm going to wrap this back around to the beginning of our conversation, trolls. And I think the main listeners for this are going to be one of two people. The people that are fearful because maybe they have in real life trolls of fearful of either starting a homebrew or starting a module because maybe a friend or something, another player's like, oh, fuck a module or don't do homebrew, you're going to suck at it. You know, I think that DM needs to hear what we're talking about. And then I think the other person that needs to hear what we're talking about is that fucking troll via in real life or on the internet. Just shut the fuck up, bro. And listen that they both are intertwined with each other. They both rely and feed on each other. And don't fucking hate on somebody for trying one. Fuck off.
Anybody that is stopping people or shaming people or
saying that they're not good enough.
Yeah,
or
belittling people to get into the thing that you enjoy. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Well, here's the thing. It's like, why wouldn't you want to see the thing that you enjoy flourish?
Right?
Yeah.
Because it only creates more of the thing that you enjoy.
Why wouldn't you want to see a friend do that? Like, I get to see you enjoy something you enjoy
or a
and flourish at it.
Friend.
Or a potential friend,
Honestly, like from the beginning, like as a forever DM, I've egged you guys on to DM. Like, hey, just try it. Just fucking do it.
5 years later, I went.
Just fucking do it. But there's also been people at our table that maybe don't go that way. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Like, why would you want to do that? You're not going to be any good at that.
They're fearful.
Yeah. But they've also tried to instill fear. They've been trolls. We've had trolls at our table.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not going to even say I've
trolls at our table.
Yeah, I think we've probably.
Yeah, no, come on.
I'm not really trolling.
I don't think I've trolled, but I probably have. At some level.
And I'll admit to that. I'm sure that maybe my snarkiness or something like that has come across as trolling.
Yeah, sweet ass, good beer.
Never have I intended to troll.
Never have I ever.
Never
take a drink.
Have I ever?
No, I think that you're right in quite a few senses, but I think that
you like sight, smell.
I love the way it tastes.
Sorry, man.
No, I set myself up for that. No, I think that something that I've recognized because I've gone back and listened to our published episodes, I've gone back and really kind of like scrutinized them, and I've never once sent you a one note saying this is what we need to change.
But he did tell me that the song on Players Net was too long, and I said, fuck you, I'm homebrewing.
Yeah, and that's fine because the second time I listened to it, I didn't have a problem with it. But the biggest thing I kind of want to, and I'm gonna stop after this, is that anytime you're being a gatekeeper for anything that you love, you have missed the point. You have completely become the enemy or the antithesis of what it is that you love. You becoming the antithesis of the thing that you like or love or whatever
only hurts you. Well, it doesn't only, but
it doesn't only hurt you. And I think that's more important to say is like we have this culture where we're like, oh, it only hurts you, so you shouldn't do it. No, it hurts other people too, and that should be just, if not more important.
It hurts other people, but it stops you from growing.
It stops you from growing. It stops you.
Don't be a fucking troll. I see
so many people like, I'd love to play D&D, but I don't know who I could play D&D with because there's nobody that wants to play it. And yet you're the weekend warrior. Yet? Well, you're the weekend warrior that's saying like, no, alignment means you have to do this or you can only do this. Knock it off. Knock it off. Like, what's wrong with you? And I know that that's probably a harsh way to say it, but like, guys, ladies, have fun. That's what we're doing. Be open to other people's interpretation.
Like we said at the beginning with the trolls topic, not the movies.
Great movie, by the way. Great soundtrack. Great soundtrack. Oh my god!
My daughter's living impersonation.
Mine
of
too.
one of them.
Birch or
no
Branch?
Oh man, okay,
Branch.
It's Branch. Sorry.
All right, so you know what? Off topic.
I don't know. I don't have kids.
To the Trolls movies. My fiance's cousin was like, you know what? Talking to me and my fiance, and she's like, you guys are Poppy and Branch. Now, Ben, you know my fiance always had super colorful hair. She's
Branch, and you're Poppy.
She is fucking like just outgoing, crazy, fucking like eccentric as fuck. And me, I'm like, just fucking
You are Branch, actually,
stoic
now
and
that I
shut
think
up.
about it.
Fucking leave me alone.
Where's my sticks? Where's my weapons?
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me my, fuck off. You know, and they're like, you're fucking Poppy and Branch. And I was like, oh shit, we are.
Justin Timberlake, you are my...
Eat your heart
Yeah.
out. No, but and to wrap it up, I just think that this conversation lends itself well together. Like we said, retrospective, we tried to do these as two separate things, and just like
We
in
were
those,
gatekeeping ourselves.
No, we were, and we were blocking ourselves from having a full conversation
Yeah.
because those
Yeah.
things
Big time.
felt forced.
Oh,
Those
absolutely.
conversations were not fluid. They didn't flow well.
That was
They
4
didn't-
hours out of our
It was
lives.
so bad. It was so bad. Like re-listening to those, I was like, dude, this doesn't sound like us.
Okay, but hold on real quick. What he just said, that was 4 hours of our lives. I don't regret that because I still got
No,
a
it's
chance.
learning
Yeah,
experience.
I'm not
learning
saying
experience. And that's, I think, a huge part of the
this game.
modules versus homebrew learning experience. Like, if you are going through life and you have no regrets, because I see that tattoo way too
Regrets?
much, regrets,
Having
any
a
of that
Snickers
stuff.
bar.
If you don't have regrets, you didn't live your life. You didn't take risks. Okay. But even when you get to the end of your life, I think there's going to be a lot of those regrets that you held on to your whole life that you go, man, that set me up for X, Y, and Z, or I can't regret that anymore because that was a life experience.
You learned from something.
Yeah. I just,
Yeah. Nope.
So don't hinder yourself and hold yourself to one frame of thinking. Open up your toolbox and use all the tools that are at your disposal to accomplish.
You're disposable.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you did.
You
My
added the
disposable.
ABLE at the end.
At your disposable. At your dispose.
Disposal.
I'm about to dispose you.
You're going to smack me. I might like it though. So.
Don't.
This is a fucking family friendly.
No, it's not.
No, I just said fucking in the family friendly part.
So, allow yourself to be flexible. Allow yourself to use all the tools at your dispose.
Oh,
Thanks. And
We'll
utilize.
help you with your words.
Thanks, man. And utilize everything. Utilize modules.
Amen.
Utilize homebrew.
Amen.
Utilize your players.
Amen.
Utilize your peers.
amen.
Don't gatekeep yourself.
Amen.
Don't gatekeep other people.
preach.
Don't close-minded anything in your fucking life.
Can I
because
get an
guess
amen?
what? You're only hurting yourself.
Amen.
Yeah, it's you know, we started this conversation on the trolls, but our main topic was supposed to be homebrews and modules, and I think we really opened it up into just don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Was that my throat again? Sorry.
I don't know if it was yours or mine.
It was mine.
But don't be a dick. Don't fucking force somebody down one avenue.
And don't close your mind off to other avenues.
We've talked
Yeah.
about this before.
We have. It's an ongoing thing. It's
This
an
is
ongoing
why
thing.
everybody should play
If
fucking
you will,
D&D.
campaign started at level 1.
Yeah. Well, no. Going back to
Everybody should.
Dice and Brews. If you love Coors Light, God bless you. Like, I'm
I'll
not going to
drink
be
it.
the
I'll drink-
guy that's going to tell you
don't
that you're wrong.
I will drink a Coors Light all day long.
Yeah, no, but everybody will. And just because
Yeah,
we
it's
knock
water.
shit doesn't mean that we are against it. Like
God,
this
no.
is a lighthearted
Yeah.
conversation podcast that
Talk shit about Coors Light all day
we
long,
talk shit about each other.
but I drink Coors Light quite often.
And truly,
And truly
And Truly. And I say Coors Light is water, yet here I'm drinking Truly, which actually just is water.
good water, though.
But
I mean, come on.
don't shut yourself off. Don't turn away from resources and tools that can make you a better person and a better forever DM. Forever.
Free ever. We got that's a new word. Free ever.
Willy.
Better forever DM.
Okay, hold on. Wait. I don't know why I just thought about this.
I'm going to get a tattoo that says forever DM.
You probably should, actually.
You know what? It's only fitting that
I'll help pay
the
for it.
initials of forever DM are FDM, and I 3D print with
You do.
FDM.
Yeah.
It's fucking pretty weird. Huh?
It works out really well. But can you let me know, and you can cut this out if you want, and this is my John comment, but that moment in
Are you
Free
speaking
Willy,
with your John?
Are you about to say something stupid?
I am.
We're not cutting it. Then.
That moment when Free Willy jumped over the jetty And
The boy.
what was the boys? Was that Jonathan Taylor Thomas at that point?
No, it wasn't.
And he's got his arm up, and Free Willy clears that. I mean, come on. Is there a better feeling as a young person when you saw that moment?
No, hold on. Is it a better feeling as a young person, or is it a better feeling as a fat man?
You know, a whale being able to jump. Well, it's not technically a whale, is it? It's a porpoise, isn't it?
No, it's a fucking whale.
Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, what the fuck?
I think an orca is technically a porpoise.
No, it's a whale.
Look it up. Anyway,
It's a mammal.
point being, that was an epic moment. And I bet you Free Willy did not have that planned.
He definitely
Homebrew.
didn't. I bet you had diagram. That's how he made that jump.
He homebrewed his way out of a module.
Oh,
That boy had a head start. He reached terminal velocity before he exited.
Man,
the
I had a
water.
good comment. He fucked it all up.
That's how we do.
Welcome to Homebrew.
Take a drink. What?
Take a drink. All right, and remember, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We're at of Dice and Brews.
And drink.
remember what?
Oh, I was gonna say, and drink your bardic inspiration responsibly.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
We
please.
sometimes forget that.
I know that's my
Always
fault.
make sure you drink your bardic inspiration responsibly.
Yeah.
And remember, this life is quite an adventure. Live it, learn it, feel it, and roll with it.